The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We're going to bring you the news and reviews, of course, of your favorite brews. My name is Dan Baker. I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
It's a lovely night in the Reading area, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Lovely-ish.
It's a little humid outside. It's going to rain.
A little cloudy.
But that means more people are flocking inside rather than out to drink at Schaylor Brewing Company. I'm very excited to be here. You can follow all the madness that we have. You can check out our Instagram and everything at Beer Busters, and Twitter at Beer Busters. Facebook, there's Beer Busters Podcast. BeerBustersPodcast.com. You know it by now. Patreon.com/BeerBusters is a very important one as well, because don't forget, we have initiated a punishment that we do in Happy Fun Time Game.
Oh, shit. I forgot about
Yeah.
this.
Wayne and I were discussing this on the way up.
So we may have to start having our guests sign waivers if we're going to keep doing this.
It's nothing terrible. It's nothing terrible.
You guys don't know, but we play a goofy trivia game every episode. And recently we decided, there's never a prize for winning other than bragging rights, but recently Dan had a really cool idea that we should have the loser have to suffer some sort of punishment. Our last game, and our patrons on Patreon already got to see this by the time you're hearing this, we had the loser of the game drink a Stone Enjoy by 12/25/17.
And unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Yes, unfiltered.
Don't enjoy by it.
Yeah. But with that, we mentioned that we have the guests here. There's two guys at the table who were kind enough to invite us out, start us off with some delicious sipping beers, and spend some time with us. So we have, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Lucan Schmidt.
Thank you very much, Lucan, and
Joseph Masturzo.
Joe, Lucan. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having us out here.
Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, of course.
And there are many patrons in the house and lots of friends.
Yeah.
So we are super, super excited. We always love when we record in the Reading area because this is our hometown. So it's really nice to see a lot of familiar faces.
Oh, yeah. I should hopefully have some other friends coming out as well. I don't see them yet, but they'll be here.
I don't have any friends.
It's cool. You saw somebody you know.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah,
That was accidental.
That was accidental.
That's true. I did want to mention the sipping beer that I have. Now, you were kind enough to start me off with one. This one was the Banana Roast Crunch. It is incredible, and I love every bit of it. It's amazing.
It is the definition of a Dan beer.
More or
very
less.
much a
yeah.
Dan beer.
Yeah. You said this has Cinnamon Toast Crunch in it?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the cereal, yep.
Wonderful. That's
Do you
one of my
like to
favorite
put
cereals.
cereals in your beers?
Yeah, we actually have a sour IPA that we made. We threw a ton of Fruit Loops in. We're actually making a beer right now that's just loaded with Jolly Ranchers. People come in here all the time. They look at the shelves. They're like, why is it filled with Oreos? Or what are those graham crackers for? We just, our slogan's Brew Outside the Lines. We just throw everything in beer.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys
Fuck
had
it, we're putting it all in.
You also have the Smorio Speedwagon, which I had before, which is incredible.
Oh, didn't we have that at Brewforia?
I think we did.
Yes.
I think we did. Yes, and keen listeners will remember, in fact, back in Brewforia 16, we had Josh on from Schaylor.
The
and
other guy.
The other guy. That sounds so... that sounds not nice. But fun fact, last time I was here, Josh was wearing a Beer Busters shirt, and I was very happy. I was sitting at that table, and I spotted him playing pool, and one of my friends was like, hey, nice shirt. I'm like, where'd you get it? Oh, I got it at this event. I was like, yeah, that's my shirt. Hi. It was fun. It was cool. It's always a fun time here. I love it. We do have some stuff we got to get to, including the news. There is some interesting stuff that has happened in the world of news. We're going to start off big, and then we're going to go local.
Okay.
You can probably
I
guess,
approve.
of course. Big. We all know Ballast Point Brewing, for better or worse. Beers are good. Of course, Steph loves Habanero Sculpin. They were purchased for $1 billion in 2015, which is a frightening amount of money. But things...
Good for them. That's what, damn. Everyone
yeah.
opens a business to make money. I'm sorry.
Things and times are changing. Trade Street, which is Ballast Point's 80,000 square foot barrel aging facility, which includes a good bit of the brewery's sour and wild ale program, is going to close. Additionally, the brewery's Temecula, California location is also going to close. Last night, this article is from BeerStreetJournal.com. As of this article last night, they were able to talk to somebody who is going to be a future ex-employee of Ballast Point.
Future ex-employee.
Yeah. Everything is, of course, on an anonymous level, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm sure they have vetted their source.
I'm sure, because everybody vets their source on the internet.
Beer Street Journal, I'd like to think, is a reputable organization.
They're reputable.
It says journal right in the name.
They better
have
be,
to
because I get most of my articles from them. Not a sponsor, but should be.
Just like Wikipedia is the official encyclopedia, right?
Yes.
We trust everything.
Last August, Constellation surprised more than 60 people, some of whom had only worked for Constellation for a few weeks, and they knew of some people who left other craft breweries to come to Constellation for their positions, only to find out a few weeks later that they no longer have these positions effective in 2019. They're all laid off. Constellation reportedly handed the craft sales over to the Modelo import team going forward. These recent closures and job cuts are what is characterized by Ballast Point as a right sizing, which is part of the business wing, or Ballast Point was not as profitable as is. So they're pretty much downsizing because they weren't making enough money back on their billion-dollar investment. It goes as something called an impairment charge, which is entered as an expense in the profit and loss account. The carrying amount of the asset is reduced by the impairment amount, which reduces the company's net worth and book value. So they found a fancier way to say they're not making enough money, and then they laid off 60 people after spending $1 billion.
So it goes.
And so it goes indeed. The pendulum really is swinging in the opposite direction.
Well, and it's interesting because we talked last episode about Stone's failed experiment in Germany. We talk a lot, the whole thing with Green Flash happened not that long ago. And these are all like bigger regional or even national breweries. And I think the market's gotten really saturated, but it's also got really saturated with places like Schaylor that are very local. Yeah. So I feel like these national guys are suffering because everybody's going to the corner brewery down the street.
Do we still call them mid-sized breweries?
I don't know what you call. You call them.
I feel like they're bigger than that. Are they mid-sized compared to like
Coors?
Macro?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
The bigger
Yeah,
ones.
So that size brewery seems to be.
It's kind of like the middle class. It's disappearing.
I feel like when this whole boom really started to boom, these bigger breweries were trying to take advantage of it, and buying up space in Virginia Beach and opening a new brewery, and or in Ballast Point, they just bought that space not far from Roanoke. Like, I feel like they were just trying to move into every possible market. They're like, "Oh, we can become a national brand," and I think it collapsed on them, and it's kind of sad because those breweries do make really good beer, but
they do, but the market is changing.
But I can't tell you the last time I used to seek out beers from those breweries, and I can't tell you the last time I bought a 6-pack of Ballast Point.
And that's exactly my point. Is there's so much local option, and all the breweries we go to, and just doing the podcast, we don't go that far, but there's so much beer to be had that, I don't seek out.
And people are becoming loyal to small local. Like, you want to go to a place where you're like, "Hey, Lucan, hey, Josh, how are you guys? What's up, Joe?" You want to walk into a place and know the guys and have a relationship with them and see people that and
which is really cool.
It is a very cool part of the industry.
But it sucks for these bigger breweries
someone's going to suffer.
Yeah, that have been around that kind of paved the way.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those things where you might seek out a beer that you've known from a big brewery for a long time, but the interest is like coming to a brewery like this, small, local, and seeing what's next, what's new. What do you guys have coming up next? And that's like what I think a lot of people come and seek out here.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always like, what's new, what's next, and that's harder to do when you're bigger.
Exactly.
You can experiment more when you're
going
smaller.
to a place where your opinion matters.
Yeah.
Where like the owner or the brewer legit comes out to you and says, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or you have an idea for something on the menu or a beer, and they really take your idea seriously, and sometimes it can come to fruition. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, or they talk to you
attachment.
about the beers they're working on, even if they haven't announced it publicly, and you're like, "Oh, I know this beer is
I'm
coming."
giving you money. Give me attention.
That's how it works. That's how
True.
it works.
Essentially.
But I mean, I feel like every episode we do a news story about some sort of economic shakeup.
Yeah,
of some kind
that's how it's going these days
in the beer world, and that's just another one.
But I think I'm on board with keeping everything a little more local.
Yeah, that's cool.
As long as it's good.
Yeah, like coming back to the Reading area. Love coming to Schaylor.
We're very lucky. We have a lot of really great breweries locally.
This is
in
true.
Reading.
I mean, in Pennsylvania overall, I mean, there's
a lot of great German heritage and a lot of pride for brewing here. So we're very lucky.
It's actually another Wikipedia fact, but I've actually even heard that Pennsylvania's the number 2 producer of beer in the whole
behind
country right
California,
now.
I believe. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, it's true. We said it on the internet. It's true.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
We were number 1.
Yeah, it used to be for sure.
Yeah.
Did we say who is number 1 now?
California, I believe.
Okay, I figured it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was adjusting
I don't know
things.
if that's true.
I don't. It might not be.
Well, I
think
figured
it was at
figured
one
we
point.
were number 1 because of Sam Adams and Yingling, because Sam Adams brews
That's true.
here as well.
Yeah. It's a technicality, really.
I mean, it's still beer that's produced here.
Yeah.
Even though they try to be like, hey, we're Massachusetts. Like, no, your beer's here. While Steph is fact-checking that, we will, speaking of local, go to a sad local story that I am super fucking bummed about.
Yeah, this sucks.
A couple of years ago, which we realized it was 2014, 5 years ago, we drove to Kensington, and we got to record in what is now St. Benjamin Brewing.
Before they were even open.
Before they were open, they were kicking out their beers and had some local accounts, and that's where we got the slogan on our shirts, We should beer. But St. Benjamin, my friend, if you have not heard, is closing their doors. And I'm like legitimately sad about this because they have so many amazing beers.
And people.
And people, absolutely. They're closing for good on May 4th. So this episode is going to come out May 3rd.
Tomorrow.
Hey, guys, they're closing tomorrow.
Go.
If you hear this when it airs, go. Absolutely go. I really hope they do
and if
something
there's
else.
any breweries that are looking to hire a brewer, Josh is awesome. He may already have something lined up. I don't know. But I went to the Brewers Guild with him, and he is a super cool guy and a super talented brewer. So
yep.
I'm sure there's something in his future. He's awesome.
If you want a nice trip down memory lane and for nostalgia purposes, you can listen to the episodes we did at St. Benjamin, starting with, of course, the first one. Tim Patton and Christina Burris were our guests. They welcomed us in. They started the brewery, and now they've announced on Instagram that they are shutting down. In the post, they noted, if you haven't already heard, we're closing up shop on May 4th. The building was sold, and the buyers just aren't that into us, so we're getting kicked to the curb. Shit happens. We've all been dumped before.
Aww.
Sucks.
They opened in 2014. They opened up the restaurant and tap room in 2016. The general manager for the tap room, Fox Brown, confirmed the news, too. This article's from Philly Voice. It's just a bummer, she said. We all live in the neighborhood. I watched everything kind of change around us in the last 3 years. We just kept getting better and better. Brown also confirmed that St. Benjamin's owner has decided to go in another direction.
Yeah, probably like fucking condos or some shit like that.
Might as well. I mean, real estate's where it's at.
Yeah, but that's the whole, like that whole neighborhood. Like when we first went there before they opened.
Their plan was
like
to revitalize
It was
Kensington.
just starting to become like a cool spot. Rich got his cool Heffy Fresh picture that will live on in infamy forever. And then when we went back the second time, and the tap room was open, and they were serving all the food, and there were so many people there. And then Dan and I were there not too long ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
After recording at Fermentary Forum, I believe we stopped by.
And you and I were there. Dan and I were there, too.
Yeah, and they had that cool park across the street that they had built since we had last been there. I mean, not St. Ben, but like the neighborhood had built.
Yeah,
and
you can see the impact that was made.
Like, that's part of the reason that neighborhood became cool.
Yeah.
And then shitty development stuff happens.
Yep.
It sucks.
I've spent multiple birthdays there over the past 5 years. I took many, many dates there. Most of them were first dates, but that's the added benefit of never really getting a second date is I have reason to keep going back with a new date every time.
Have you been here before?
Hey, weren't you here last week with another woman? Yeah, thanks, guys.
But best to everybody who works
Absolutely.
there. Hopefully you all do well and prosper in the future.
You've all done a wonderful
Live
thing.
long and prosper.
I'm going to shed
live long and prosper.
I'm definitely going to shed a tear once the doors finally close, and I hope that I can get there at least once in the next 2 weeks before you guys actually do it.
Coffee
Junto,
Kolsch.
man. Yeah, Coffee Kolsch.
Coffee Kolsch.
Witter it out.
Witter it out.
And that
Let's go in.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And
All right.
where's Fermentary Forum going to brew their beer?
That-
That
That's the
thought
other
also crossed my
question.
mind, too.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, Ethan was talking about getting in with other breweries in the area and using their equipment, just expanding a little bit more and doing more networking. I hope he did. Now's the time.
Yeah.
That sucks. It really sucks.
Do you have happier news? Is there something else?
That was it.
Moving right
you
along.
son of a
Moving
bitch.
right along.
That was it. But we are going to get to happier topics indeed because, as we've already mentioned, we are here at Schaylor, and I'm super pumped. Last time I was here, we spent had to be 5 or 6 hours here. We started off on a table around the corner, and then we realized we had more people that were coming, so we had to move over to the table over here, dragged another table over, and just kept going. And I've been drinking beer for a while in one day when I then also start drinking liquor at the brewery, which I was very happy about. You guys have a whiskey here that was absolutely incredible. And I know we got to talk about the beer, and the beer's great, but I had a little thing of whiskey on the rocks. It was $6, and it's better than some whiskeys I spent $20 a glass on. So we're definitely going to talk about that in a little bit. But we should go back a little further. How long have you guys been here and been open?
Right now, we're probably pushing 16, 17 months.
Okay. And I think we asked Josh when we were at Brewphoria, the building here that you guys are in, this was a car lot, right?
Yep, correct.
So what what made you guys choose a car lot to have the brewery? Because that's something I've noticed other breweries have done, and I find it very interesting.
Well, honestly, part of it was we didn't really have a lot of options.
Okay.
We were all a bunch of young people scrounging for money to put together and somehow start this. And honestly, that was actually a big controversial thing is, when we were trying to get people to buy into our idea, a lot of people didn't buy into this location or this area. And it was all be in West Reading, be in West Reading, be in West Reading.
Right.
And people didn't really see the vision that we had. But to us, we're in everyone's backyard. We're in everyone's neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's a development over there. That's developments over here. People drive 2 miles to get home, or we can be that everyday chill, relax spot.
Right.
The biggest thing with the car dealership is it's all glass. You can see outside. Our parking lot's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other places, you have nowhere to park. You're walking. We're here. We have all the parking. There was room for growth, expansion, and the whole glass, the higher ceilings. I mean, the doors open up because they used to bring cars into the showroom.
Right.
Works great for us all the
Equipment in
time.
and out. Yeah.
Bring a new tank in, open it up, bring it right in.
And it's very flat. It's a very flat lot, like the whole thing.
Yeah, it has to be.
Open floor plan. When we started, there was nothing. We got to put walls where we wanted them,
Yeah.
and there was no demolition really, other than, they had carpet we had to rip out, but
Right.
it was a blank slate.
Yeah, I think it works well for people too because if you're bringing big 4-8 barrel fermenters in, you're not going to fit through a regular door.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, so you're going to have like big open doors like we have, so it works.
Now, one thing I've always noticed about car lots is they tend to have like events on the weekends and like have the tent set up and have like the big prize wheels. Do you guys do events on the lot?
No, we've never done that. Never in the actual parking lot.
What are you talking about?
No, have you never been to a car
get it.
dealership that is like they have like a radio station
Nope.
out there? Maybe it's because I worked in radio. But, like,
President's Day weekend.
Yeah,
One
like
of those blowy guys.
Yeah, the wacky wavy inflatable arms guy. You could have like a bouncy house for the kids while mom and dad.
Yeah,
are-
we have had a bouncy house.
Ooh.
That we have done.
Now
And
we're
there will
talking.
be one here on May 11th as well. But we have done the bouncy house.
Oh, we're gonna be at an event on the 11th.
Yeah, it's my son's birthday party.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
bouncy
You're not
house. And then we
invited
just
to
leave
that.
it here, and everyone uses it. Adults, kids, whatever.
Dogs.
Dogs.
Anything.
I feel like that's a bad idea. They have claws.
Well, yeah,
Fair.
that is true. That is true. Now, were you guys homebrewers before you opened up the brewery?
Josh, actually, who isn't here, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So is he currently the brewer also here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is your part of the business then?
So basically, I'm more in charge of all the finance, the numbers, the accounting, scheduling, firing, planning. The
Hire,
front.
firing.
Somebody's got to do it.
The you know what I mean? The making sure the kitchen, helping develop new menu ideas. But basically, Josh, does anything that has to do with brewing. He doesn't worry about the math, the numbers.
All right.
He
well,
just
there
handles.
is math involved in brewing.
Well, that's true.
Well, right.
But none of
I guess
the
the
business-related
math.
numbers.
Yeah, there's no dollar signs in front of the numbers.
That's true.
Right. And then where Joey, he handles all the events, coordinating events, live music, bands.
Spin wheels and bouncy houses.
Telling you, man, an event outside on the lot, do it.
I just don't know the legalities about out front because
Yeah,
of
they
the
have
cars.
this
I don't know.
awesome
We
space.
You do.
Yeah,
You do the
definitely
awesome
out
outside,
back.
but I guess
Just put this
I don't know.
guy
Yeah,
out
I guess if
front.
you're doing beer out front, that might be different than
just
just.
don't
All
know.
right.
It's
we-
better
we-
to ask forgiveness than permission. I mean,
Not when alcohol's
True.
involved.
well,
even though
I
we
think
have
especially with
we have a big lot, but we still even run out of parking.
Of course, yeah.
too.
It was full
So-
when we got here.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, we
actually-
recently had to tell our employees to start parking next door.
Yeah.
So
really?
we have like 6
Wow.
to 8 more spaces.
You know what's pretty cool though? Like when we pulled in, you could tell you guys were busy. I mean, you could see through the windows that all the tables were full and everything. Now, obviously, it's raining, so nobody's sitting outside, and the lot was full. But even the lot, like we pulled in, and we just got a spot like right in the corner. Like it is enormous. Like you can't underestimate or say enough about how important having good parking around a brewery
Yeah,
really
it's
is.
so-
I like that you tell your employees to park next door. Isn't that the excitement video lot?
Oh yeah.
It just might be.
Park at the porn shop and then walk over to work and hang your head in
I hope they
shame.
all have Schaylor stickers in their car.
Nice.
I'm here because I work there.
I
Brewery
get
provided
10%
hats and
off
sunglasses.
anything excitement video if you eat here.
There you go.
Really?
No.
my God.
I was just gonna say.
David's gonna be mad at me for saying that.
I think you guys should do some sort of collaboration. I mean,
We've talked about it, but
outdoor events. I mean,
That could get dangerous
You can go some
real
interesting
quick.
places there. I don't know.
See, when you have your
Okay.
outdoor event, you could have like a vibrator race. Put them down there, and
Oh
like
my
whoever
God.
crosses the finish line first.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. There's girls here the other day. They were here for maybe 6 hours, getting pretty tipsy. Walked over to Excitement Video, left their stuff here, came back. The one girl accidentally dropped the dildo out of her
Whoops.
purse onto the floor. They were loopy. They were having fun, but
I did not know that. That's awesome.
It's a great neighbor. They're good people over there.
That's cool. That's cool.
This is going to be a pretty eventful episode, I think.
Of course
seems
it
like
is. It always is. But we're all kidding aside. We're talking about outdoor stuff. I know when we talked to Josh at Brewphoria, the outdoor area was just in planning then, right?
Yeah.
That hadn't actually come to fruition. But now it's unfortunately raining. So that's pretty exciting recent development.
We know what's on your mind.
What's on Dan's mind?
No,
Yes,
yours.
so-
You,
So
Oh,
tell
excitement.
us,
Yeah.
tell us about the outdoor space now that it has come to be.
I guess recently we just put up a big the lattice wall in the back. Kind of blocks out the other business behind us, but we're planning on growing like ivy and hops up it. It'll kind of we could use the hops also in brewing, but kind of block the backspace.
Make it more beer gardenish.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And in the front, we have a good seating with the outside bar. Has all the beer out there, all the mixed drinks, so everything. You can order their food out there. But between the picnic tables and the pergola, we can have good 60 seats of seating.
Nice.
But then the back area is bigger than the entire front, which just has drink rails with high tops. And that's just all games. And, obviously we can put more tables and stuff out there, but that's really not what we're going for. We want something that's more an active, social atmosphere. People can have fun, play cornhole, throw can jam. I don't know of another place in Reading. I could be wrong, though, so don't quote me on that. But the pergolas we have out there, they're big L couches with cushions where it's not like a formal table. Like you're sitting down,
cool.
you're relaxing. If you're with your girl, you can kind of snuggle up a little bit. We let dogs out
Love
there.
it.
We're pet friendly.
when you're with your
so-
dog, you can snuggle up a little bit.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and I've recently booked like 5 or 6 music events in the next 5 months. So we're gonna have some live music outside and some events. So that'll be.
Did I
that'll
see
be
you guys are
something
going
new.
to do a can jam tournament?
We do cornhole and
We've
can
done
jam.
Nice.
cornhole. Yeah. So
That's exciting.
absolutely can jam's kind of harder to get people into it, but we've definitely done cornhole tournaments, and it was a great
if Sly
success.
Fox can do an entire event just around can jam, I feel like you
Yeah,
can do
I'm
it.
sure we could. I'm sure.
You just have to educate people on what it is because I didn't know what it was until we
it's
recorded
a
at Sly
blast.
Fox.
Yeah, it's great.
I didn't understand it until I played it last year for the first time.
Oh yeah, I still have never played it, but I now understand it. That's someone
You
explained
have
it
to
me.
play it somewhere where you can fall and not get hurt. I was on sand.
Ah.
You're going to take a dive or two.
Well, on that note, so when we were doing construction and this was open, we had no money, so all this stuff, pretty much we did ourselves, other than like electrical and plumbing. We had some people that were great people help us out with electrical plumbing, and they actually helped us, do a lot of this stuff ourselves because we didn't know how, so they kind of taught us. But anyway, we tried to do what we could. At night, we were drinking our practice recipes and home brews, and we were playing can jam inside. There was
It was gutted. It was gutted. There was nothing.
All
No
open
bar.
space.
Needless to say, I went through one of those windows.
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
So yes, you do need space because his whole body fell through that window.
Oh my god!
And also, just as a positive note, it is safety glass and nobody will get hurt.
Okay, good.
So you
good.
were okay.
Was
Completely
it
fine.
was it safety glass when you did that, or was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I was afraid you were like, we learned the lesson from that,
Yeah,
and
we
now
need
it's
safety
safety
glass.
glass.
Amazing. No sharp edges.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
That's
don't
good.
have
How
any
they do it.
crazy scars on your face or anything.
It was kind of
so-
impressive, honestly.
They're all in his
Yeah.
torso.
They're all in his torso.
But yeah, we finished the game.
Good.
That's what's important.
Well, I mean, after that, like you have to. Otherwise, you broke the window in vain.
I'm pretty sure someone drove by the next day and called me and was like, "Hey, I think someone broke in last night." And I was like, "No, that was just Luke. He fell through the window."
Somebody broke out, actually.
Right.
That is hilarious.
So you guys, as far as the beer goes, because obviously that's why we're all here, you have, 10 taps on? I see 11 on the menu.
There's 10 in, 10 out, and then we have,
Kegerators.
I would say,
Okay.
little keggers
I was
on the
gonna,
side,
I
so
was
there are
gonna ask if it
3
was
more.
like a cask or a firkin or something. Okay.
And sometimes what we'll do is we'll have 8 of the beers the same in both places, but 2 are different out there and 2 are different out
That's
here.
cool. Yeah.
There's a lot of times where we just sell out a beer and we only have 6 or 7 beers even left, but right now we just kegged a bunch and we're a little bit ahead, so we have that ability to have a couple extra.
Very cool.
How big is the brewing system here?
4-barrel.
So Josh is brewing pretty often.
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
Constantly.
probably 3 times a week.
Minimum.
3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have so many different beers on tap. And some of them you repeat, like Optimus Prime is on pretty regularly, but you guys, well, Josh, I guess, he brews quite a variety of beers. There's always something different and new on every time I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I think
So-
we're about to hit like 100.
Wow.
In a year and a half, wow.
Pretty. I mean, last time I checked, we were around like 70, so I'd say we're getting close to 100.
Yeah. We have certain flagships that always come back. Like when Dr. Rick Marshall is on, everybody knows what Dr. Rick Marshall is.
Pineapple Express is one.
Yeah.
Lunar Eclipse, that's in the back. Nobody knows it, but as soon as the beer kicks, that's what's going on tonight. It's really good. Just wheat ale with some orange. But
How long do we have to stay?
Well, what do we have to kick? What's getting close? What's getting close?
banana roast crunch.
Yeah.
Dan, get on it.
Oh, Dan will
drive home.
He'll
You can
happily
stay at my
kick
place.
I got a doctor's appointment in the morning.
Old man.
Yeah, right.
So we try and have a mix of we'll never promise anyone beer is always going to be on tap but we try and bring beers back that people know what they are, but at least have 5 to 6 be rotating recipes, and they might come back in 6 months from now. They might never come back ever again.
Yeah.
But we still have those tried and true. You know what they are.
Are there any kind of in the works that you've never done before that you guys are kind of excited about?
Uh-oh.
Why is no one taking a picture of this right now?
Oh, it's too late. The moment's over. Over. That was a
There's
hell of a post.
We have a coming up board on the side, so we have a Jolly Rancher sour coming up.
Oh my gosh.
And we use the green one, so it's sour apple.
Sour apple.
Yep, and then
Those are the best
that
ones.
makes my
It's
face hurt
there's
just
a-
thinking about it.
There's also a strawberry milkshake pale ale.
Okay.
So that'll be a first because we've never done that before. So
Wow.
Interesting.
that'll be interesting.
Do you ever brew normal beers?
Like
They don't say traditional.
Pilsners.
Traditional beer.
It's always we go in to do that, and then that doesn't happen.
Because the urge to throw something in is
We
just
try.
too strong.
I think the closest thing you're going to get is like Lunar Eclipse,
Yeah.
which is going to be more of a traditional wheat beer with, like Blue Moon, where you have like
Like a Blue
orange,
Moon, yeah.
orange peel,
Yeah.
coriander. Our own, flip of it, but that's pretty safe. You know what I mean? But besides that, we really don't follow style guidelines like whatsoever. I mean, there's times we made beers, we were like, what is this? An imperial pale ale? Like, we don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
Because we just kind of, do things how we feel. Sometimes it's an idea. Josh comes up with all the recipes, but sometimes it's an idea inspired by somebody else. Sometimes it's just him, being creative. He's
Sometimes
really
he
good
just
at
has
that.
some leftovers he's got to get rid of in his fridge, and he's like, let's throw this in a beer.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
What I like that you guys have done, so the brew space is pretty open. You can see it from over there. And because he's brewing so much, you guys have this live brewing thing, right? So what is that?
So it's not very organized, as in it's not some ticketed event or
Right.
whatever. It's just basically we keep it open. So if he's brewing, you can go sit there, ask him questions. You know what I mean? A lot of times people just watch. So it's not like an informational session or
Yeah.
anything like that. We've tossed actually around the idea of doing that. Having a private ticketed event on Monday when we're closed,
Yeah.
where whoever wants to do it, come in and we do the whole thing and teach them about it. But for the most part, it's just chill right now. You just come in, you sit there, you see him brewing, you ask questions, you watch,
That's cool.
whatever it may be.
Yeah, typically someone who's interested will be like, hey, is Josh brewing tomorrow? And I'll be like, yes or no. And if they want to, they come in and watch him, and honestly, he's very open. If you want to ask questions, he'll answer. And
Yeah.
so he helps you out, but it's pretty informal.
We do it a lot more during the winter, because I will tell you, in the summer with the kitchen on and
Oh,
brewing,
God.
the air conditioner just cannot handle it,
It's hot.
and we have 2 of them.
I feel like there's certain brewers that would be cool with that, and then
There's a lot that wouldn't.
and then others I feel
I'm
like there's no
brewing,
middle
leave me
ground.
alone.
It's actually surprising to hear a brewer that's so open to just talk to someone while they're brewing and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this or I'm doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen this menu we have here. We literally put every ingredient that we've used
Right,
in
right,
beer
right.
on the menu.
Right.
So it's not.
Yeah, and not even just giving away secrets of ingredients or process, but just I'm fucking making beer. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm busy.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And I kind of feel like with brewers, just from people that we've met, it would be either one or the other. Somebody who's really into being
Yeah,
cool and open
no,
like
you're
that,
right.
or somebody's leave me alone. I'm making beer. But that's pretty cool.
100%.
You had mentioned the kitchen too. So you guys have a full kitchen here, and you do pretty damn awesome food.
It's sort of an illusion.
It's very true.
If
It's
you
all
look
lies.
at the
This is all
menu,
lies.
it's huge, and you see all these things, and it looks like a big menu. But I'll take you back there. Then the inside of our main bar is bigger than the kitchen. So
Kind of impressive for what gets kicked out of the kitchen, the food wise.
Yeah, the menu is quite
we have
insane.
our kitchen wizards are awesome.
Yeah, our
That's
staff,
awesome.
our staff back there is
Kitchen
awesome.
wizards.
Because we don't know what they do back there. But the food comes out, you know what I mean? And it's just really small. Like we don't have fryers and griddles and, which is kind of cool because, we serve wings, but they're not fried. We actually, dry rub, oven bake them. So it's different. And
cool.
actually a lot of people like that just because it's something different. They're gluten-free and they're not as greasy. Not that I don't like a big, battered fried wing. I love it. You know what I mean? But it's something different. So we have to be unconventional to provide this menu, and try and be creative and reuse things, but the kitchen is extremely, extremely small. So we give this illusion of a huge menu, but in all reality,
Keep
to
it
put that
simple.
out is tough.
Yeah, they're putting in the work back there. They
So
definitely
you
are.
guys have paninis. I know you do flatbreads. You said the wings. What else
The
is on there?
popcorn,
Oh, there's
the
salads
popcorn,
too.
the popcorn, the
Oh, yeah,
popcorn, the fucking-
The popcorn we
Oh,
have.
the
We have a
popcorn.
small little kids menu, you know what I mean?
There's hummus on the menu.
The fries, that we have different Schaylor fries that are top.
Wait, how
crab
do you
fries.
make fries? If you
Again,
it on a
oven
fry.
bake them.
wow.
So again, it's a lot of timing. You got to keep timing things
Yeah.
correctly because it takes
Yeah.
30 minutes to make fries, but you got to send them out in 8 minutes. So it's a lot of timing on how they're doing everything. And with wings take 30 minutes too
That's
to cook.
That'd
So-
be tough, because if you're batching it ahead of time, you feel like you'd have a lot of waste.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
You
Right.
really got to kind of
gotta plan it correctly.
know exactly.
So the
What
prep,
you're gonna sell.
They
the
are
prep and
wizards.
planning is
Yeah.
huge. Oh, we do stuffed pretzels too, and it's not like we just
Oh,
get frozen,
yeah.
frozen
I have one of those.
pretzels.
Yeah, they're good.
We just take a pretzel, cut it open, and just stuff it with
Throw a
stuff.
bunch of crap in there.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a good pretzel.
Yeah.
Poses.
You're very flexible.
Flexible?
Yeah. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not
Like
going to
bendy?
lie.
Like bendy.
Bendy.
We
He's-
use him
he's
for a lot
Gumby.
of things.
He's Gumby.
He crawls in all the nooks and crannies in the brewery.
Versatile.
Everyone has
Yeah.
their purpose.
I just noticed the paddle that's up there, with
Oh, yeah,
the slogan,
totally.
Brew Outside the Lines. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fight, 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 fight. Should we drink some
What?
beer? There was a fight. They broke
Oh,
it
there
up
was
on
a
us.
fight.
For our listeners at home,
Hopefully
Steph is
not in
also
here.
watching hockey right now.
Yeah, the Bruins are in the
It's the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoff hockey's good hockey. But I agree. Yes, we should probably drink some beer because my glass is empty.
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Let's do it.
All right. Through the magic of the internet, we have 5 delicious-looking beers in front of us.
And can we talk about these beer
I was
bottles
going to say
right
4
now?
that are on really kick-ass paddles, and one that didn't fit on it. Yeah, so we were saying right before we started recording this, it was kind of hell to make these, from what we understand. So did you guys hand make these paddles then?
Yep. Yeah, it all started with a magnifying glass and a cardboard box. But
How does it go from that to this?
yeah, we had
Step
to
3, profit.
Yeah, apparently if you put your iPhone in a shoebox with a magnifying glass on the end, it projects it onto the wall. The image off your phone, upside down though, of course.
I feel like that technology has already been perfected in other ways.
Well, how many people have an
again,
overhead
we were
projector?
poor.
Fair.
So it was the poor man's projector.
But we
That's
should
so
we should
cool.
describe them. So they're like giant hop cones.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
With holes cut out of them to hold the flight glasses.
And if you don't know how to picture it in your head, either come here or go to our Instagram
yeah.
page.
I mean, I feel like it's a pretty basic description. You could imagine what it
They're
looks
really
like.
cool, though.
But they are.
sanded in, gives you a little bit of
the texture.
3 dimensions to it in a sense.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
And it's cool you're saying like people want to buy them, and you were just like, no, we're not.
Yeah, no, we don't want to make it anymore.
We're not
unless
making
we
it
can find a company that can do what we did and make them for us now.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty cool. You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna make a custom flight paddle
Patent
production.
the idea.
Yes, production company.
There you go.
There you go. I like
I
that.
don't know. Opening a brewery is a labor of love. Make your own damn paddles.
Yeah, do it yourself.
If you're not
by
willing to
hand.
make your own damn paddles, then don't open a brewery.
If you ever go to a brewery and they have store-bought flight paddles, turn around and leave.
You could have spent your money better in other places. Anyway,
But
let's
anyway,
drink.
that's really cool. Yes. So, what is the first beer in the lineup here?
Number 1 is Despop, which is a peach and pear sour.
I was gonna say
And-
it's peachy and sour. If
And
that
the name
helps.
Despop comes from the movie The Other Guys
Never seen it.
with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
actually
movie.
almost made a reference to that earlier when you said the other guy. Desk pop. All right. Remember, aim for the bushes.
We often use
That
a
was
lot of
that movie, right?
movie, whatever you call
I've
it.
noticed there was
References
the
for-
quote about Carl is one of the beers. Like, nice to see you, Carl. Is that what it is?
That's
Carl,
from
good
movie.
to
Carl,
see you.
good to see you. There it is.
Egret, that's from Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Right over my head.
Yeah, Dan doesn't watch.
Then
Game
one
of
of
Thrones.
the best beers that we put out in a while was Gator Don't Play No Shit. That just kicked on Tuesday.
That's from other guys.
Yeah,
too,
that's from
isn't
the
it?
other guys
Yeah.
too.
I saw that on there. I have no idea what the reference is. I've never seen that movie, but I just really like that name.
Oh yeah, dude, that beer was phenomenal too. The name was fitting.
Do you have a beer called D's Nuts?
Yes, it's a chocolate peanut butter porter.
We also had D's chocolate nuts too.
Chocolate
Got
salty
'em.
balls. So I feel like
Oh,
this.
that was the chocolate rendition.
I feel like this beer. We were talking earlier about if you guys make any normal beers, in quotes. I feel like this
Traditional
is
beers.
traditional.
Right.
I feel like this is fairly straightforward. It's just a sour with some peach and some pear. It's very nice. It's very fruity. I'm enjoying it. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, I think that one has a great mouthfeel too. It's like pretty.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty thick.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
The peach and the pear play very well together.
You get the peach right away, and then the pear kind of
Yeah.
sits under it. Yeah.
and I think it is, like you said, a little more traditional compared to if you had our blackberry plum sour. It's like
right.
super dark purple. You can't see 1 millimeter into the cup. It's like a smoothie.
It is. They are like opposite sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can have that. That's kind of the point. You could have good sours on the clear, peachy, whatever, and then super thick blackberry cranberry, and they both turn out pretty well.
The dark side of sours. So I'm assuming this is a kettle sour.
Yes.
Yes.
So how do you get the fruit flavors in? Do you guys use obviously probably not fresh fruit?
Yeah, it's all either fresh fruit or purees, which are
Nice.
fresh fruit purees. So
That's
yeah, we
really
don't
hard to
use,
say.
It
we
all
don't
started
use- I
with
know
a
it is, right?
microscope, a Google Pixel.
Yeah, we don't use any like artificial like fake sweeteners. If we're doing a pineapple express, we cut up by hand.
90
The-
pineapples
yeah.
per batch.
Yeah, so
So it's, you know, literally.
Oh, so that's when Josh lets you in the brew house when he has
Right.
to
Yeah, when he
peel and
needs
cut
my help.
fruit.
Then all of a
cut
sudden he
it,
wants
yeah.
everyone help. But yeah, they just bring in pallets of pineapples. You got to cut them up, then cube them. Then we run them through a juicer, and then we put all of the juice into the Pineapple Express, as well as all of like the leftovers pulp. We'll put in bags and put all that in as well. So most of our beers, part of the being small compared to being big, medium size or large, like we were talking about earlier, is it's easier for us to do those things. If we this peach pear sour, like they had to sit there and just get the skins off of peaches and pears and dice them all up and just pallets.
Yeah. If you were doing like a 50-barrel, 25-barrel batch, that wouldn't work.
You need an
it would
army.
take
Yeah.
hours and
Or
hours
yeah.
now. It takes us
Or
what,
machines.
robots.
Or machines.
It takes us
Yeah.
almost 3.5, 4 hours to cut up just the pineapples from Pineapple Express. So.
Right.
Wow.
Or an iPod and a solo cup and a pair of sunglasses.
They're like the MacGyver of breweries.
That's my new thing now. I was going to have like a piece, a digital device, some sort of container, and some sort of optical device. That's going to be my new thing. That's my new MacGyver game.
MacGyver Mad Libs.
MacGyver libs.
Okay. Moving on.
What's the next beer on
Yeah,
the lineup?
what's up next?
Next is, one of our flagships is Pineapple Express, which is a double IPA, which is really neither here nor there. It's definitely not a West Coast IPA. It's definitely not a New England IPA. It's just one of those things like, again, no guideline, just what we did. So that one's an 8.5% double IPA. Very fruit forward, a little bit of lactose in there to give you a little sweetness. But this is a flip on it, where we threw a little bit of coconut and lime in there as well. Just, for the regulars, just to give a little twist mashup every now and then.
I get a lot of coconut out of it, but I've had a lot of customers say that they get lime.
I get more lime than I do coconut.
See, I've had a lot of people say that.
I catch the coconut, but
I get them both.
Yeah. And it's kind
Well,
of like,
la-di-da.
it's sort of like,
Just stating facts. Shut the hell up.
this beer is sort of like the gateway drug to like IPAs. Basically people are like, I don't like IPAs. Do you have anything fruity? And we're like, yeah, here's this Pineapple Express. And then they drink it and like, yeah, that was a double
Yeah,
IPA.
that's very true. A lot of like, I don't want to categorize, but a lot of older people come in and they're like, I don't like IPAs.
Or
I'm like, all right, we'll try this one.
More
and then
life
like, oh,
experienced
okay.
individuals.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, well, I do like this. So
you even get a lot of like, also younger people, or sometimes it's girls who are like, I just don't want anything hoppy. And then you give them that and they're like, wow, this is really good. What is it? And you're like, double IPA.
The first thing this makes me think of is like really old school like IPA / pale ale. Before they got like super dank and chewy and bitter. but then with that little bit of fruit in there as well. Like you said, I feel like it's a gateway to like modern IPAs, but this is kind of like from that old tradition before IPAs became super extreme all the time.
Yeah.
It's nice. It drinks real easy.
It really does.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit thinner than some of the other IPAs that we do, which kind of like on a hot summer day, it's really crushable.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of, not a super strong maltiness.
Sit outside on a hot day on the couch that's out there with this.
Pound an 8.5% beer.
Listen, you know how I do.
Passed out a half hour later.
You know how I do it.
With your
We
dog.
just need pillows and blankets, and then
Wait,
you
did
guys
I
can
miss
take
that?
naps.
Is this
Blankets
seriously
in the middle of
8.5? Did I totally miss that?
Yeah.
8.5.
Because it does not taste like it.
Not at all.
Wow.
I would have bet this is like 4.5.
I
She'll
might have
get
put it
ya.
a little higher than that, but 8.5 is surprising.
I think
If you
the
drink a
thinner
couple,
body and
it'll
the
be
fruit-
confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Give me 4.
That's
Can we get a mini keg? No.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of mini
Mini
kegs,
kegs?
yeah. Well, speaking of, we were talking about all the hard work that goes into making your beers and how you can afford to do that because they're smaller batches. I know you guys don't package anything. You don't do like cans or anything like that.
No, not at this point. We haven't been. We just do, growlers, and the mini keg thing is, something we just started doing, which I think we're the only person in the area that's really doing that. And then we actually had a imperial stout that was barrel aging in one of David E's bourbon barrels, and we just bottled that one up and submitted our labels to the TTB, waiting for that to come through and resubmit that, and then that'll be our first. We're gonna do bombers of that. We're gonna release, but. Definitely something we're going to do in the future, but right now we've just been having a problem where we're like always playing from behind. We're selling out a beer on tap here, you know what I mean, and without even trying to distribute kegs of beer. So it's like if we start to bottle and can it, you'd come in here, we'd have like 4 beers left on tap. So we've been trying to increase that production, but that's definitely the next step is, moving towards, we'd love to do 16-ounce cans.
Would you ever look into doing like keg distribution, like being on at bars or restaurants locally, things like that?
We do it locally.
Do you? Yeah.
I think we've distributed to 5 or 6 local bars.
Okay, cool.
I would say within like a 10-mile radius,
Right,
though,
right.
so it's very local.
Very relationship driven,
Yeah.
people that we've had past experiences with or developed relationships with. Or just like I said, there's a lot of people come to us, but we don't really have like a sales guy going to try and sell kegs. It's more if someone comes to us and we think like this is a good place to market our beer, and we have enough, then we'll do it.
Right.
Cool. Now, I saw somebody walk in with a keg, hand it to somebody behind the bar. It is currently sitting on the bar, and it looks considerably heavier. Do you fill kegs here for customers?
That's the mini kegs that I was talking about.
That is the mini keg. Okay.
That's the biggest size of the mini keg.
Okay.
Right, the normal mini keg we sell is 128 ounces. That one's 2.5 gallons.
Okay. It's okay. I thought that was
It's not a sixtel.
Yeah,
at first glance when he had it down like by his side, it looked like a sixtel.
It's like a forced perspective
We
thing.
do-
It was,
from
yeah.
across the room.
We do, if you grab a sixtel and put it next to it, you can see the difference. But we do
Oh, yeah.
sell a lot of sixtels to customers.
Oh, cool.
These are really, really cool because it's like a mobile kegerator.
Right, yeah.
So the 2 pegs that are on the top are actually ball lock, like soda kegs, where basically we have mini regulators that we sell that you put a little CO2 cartridge in, food grade, goes on one peg. Then the other peg is a beer faucet. So basically, he could roll up to a party, throw that mini keg in a bucket of ice, and there's a little tap on it and a little
It's good to go.
CO2 on it. Put it in your
Cool.
So, yeah, it's a mobile keg. It's awesome.
Yeah, and again,
super cool.
we fill it through the lid. We don't take the lid off
Oh,
like you do
yeah.
with the growler. We
Yeah.
connect to the lid and fill that way, so it never ever touches oxygen.
That's
It's
cool.
It's
That's
not like
good.
a growler where once you pop the top, you gotta drink it all. You know what I mean?
So do
you
you clean it like a CIP kind of thing?
Yeah, we have like certain ball locks that we hook up. We
Just
clean
like
it.
push it through?
Yep, we'll
But the-
sanitize, then we'll CO2 purge through, and then fill it also.
and that lid does come off as well.
Yeah.
You can just take it off and wash it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a pretty cool
it's-
idea.
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, how much does one of those go for?
The whole tap kit with everything's $150.
Never mind.
No, but if you go on their actual website, it's like what
The tap kit alone's like $160.
Wow.
And
All
we
right.
sell
All right, so it
But
is
I
a
mean,
deal.
you-
you're getting
yeah.
like a 30%, at least 30% discount, or getting it from us.
And I'm sure you guys have seen like the Growlerworks U kegs and stuff like that. Not to throw them under the bus or anything like that.
Well, I
great,
have one of
great,
them.
great
I have
product,
one.
but
I
they
love it.
cost more than what we're putting ours out for.
Yeah.
And we're putting 128 ounce ones out. They make those, but their 128 ounce ones are a lot more than
Almost
$150.
$300.
And those again, the CO2's in the side. You got to unscrew the lid
Yeah.
to put the CO2 in, and when you fill it, you also have to unscrew the lid and put a hose in. It's getting exposed to oxygen, put the lid back on. This is a 100% completely sealed system, exactly as having beer on tap and how we do it here.
Are
That's
there
cool.
other breweries that do this?
I'm sure there are, but locally, I would say no.
I was gonna say, this might be the first one I've seen.
It's the first one I've
The
seen
cool thing
also.
about it too is like a lot of guys that like homebrew or girls, whatever, guys that homebrew, you can use like it's hard.
They can put
it's
their beer
the same
in it.
connections, yeah. So they can use these kegs to homebrew, and you can like carbonate and all that
You
in
can
these
force
kegs
carb right
too.
in it.
So it's appealing to homebrewers.
And again, there's just a lot of people that like they would love to get more, but with a growler they got to drink it on at night. And
Right.
there's people that want to drink just 2 beers. So with this, they could drink a beer a week later, drink a beer a week
Yeah.
later, drink a beer. It's never going to go bad.
Yeah, when it's carbonated, it lasts phenomenally longer.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea.
Yep. Can Keg is the company from Canada that linked up with us to do this. So it's
Can
cool.
Cake from Canada.
Yep. Can Keg from Canada.
Can Cake from Canada.
Good people.
Canada.
Oh,
What's the
words
next
are
beer in
hard.
the lineup?
Yeah, so number 3. Oh, I love that name. It's a Disco Lemonade. Is that the next one?
Yep. That one is a funky one because it's has cucumbers in it, has ginger in it,
That's
has
what that
lemons
taste
in
is.
it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is the one that you were telling me about before we recorded.
Yeah. So and it's a sour, but it's on the way light end
Yeah,
compared
it's
to
not
what we
super-
do with
yeah.
the sour. It's very very light. It almost comes off to me like kombucha, like alcoholic
Oh,
kombucha is almost like the sense
A little
I get
bit,
from
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Not quite, but I get a little bit of that kind of a vibe.
The first thing I got was the cucumber, and without knowing it, like I couldn't like identify it right away, and I was like, "That's weird." And then as soon as you said cucumber, I was like, "Oh, it's cucumber."
Yeah.
But the cucumber and citrus is really strong. The ginger is very subdued.
Yeah, and this was a first run batch, so that was one thing he wanted the ginger to come out more, but
Yeah.
it was kind of like after the fact. He's like, I wish there was more
You wish there was a
ginger,
little more,
but
yeah.
for
I
next
mean, you
time.
just throw some in the glass.
Isn't
Third
Disco
round.
Lemonade a Beck lyric?
No, it's a song.
Lemonade.
It's a song, but it's
I smell sex.
yeah,
and
Marcy Playground.
Is it Marcy Playground?
candy.
I knew
Yeah.
it
Is
was
it
in
the
a
same
song.
song as that? Is it?
I knew it was in a song.
Okay.
I
like that
only
song.
know it from that
I
song.
like that song.
What's the reference that you guys are using?
Well, Josh named that one, so
Oh,
he's
all right.
not here, so that could be where
Who
it's
knows
from.
what he's
You guys
saying?
have no idea.
Although you guys are young. Aren't you like in your mid-20s?
Not anymore. I'm 30. He's
I'm
31.
31.
Oh,
Oh,
old man.
there is
And
young-
I think
they're as
Josh
young
is
as him.
26.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Josh
I
is
know
the
Josh is
young
super
one.
young.
Josh
he's the
is the baby. Wow.
I'm willing to bet he's probably the youngest brewer in Pennsylvania.
You know,
Maybe head
I
brewer.
don't quote me on that.
Urban Village, their brewery is
we
really young.
also know
Ethan's
that
really young.
John Stemler's definitely
he started
the
brewing when he was
oldest
18.
That's true.
brewer in Pennsylvania.
What is
Shut
that?
the hell
No,
up.
this is good to know because I like.
Yeah.
Are there?
Wikipedia fact on our part again.
But yeah,
I
Ethan's
fake
young.
opinion.
I mistakenly assumed that John Stemler was way older than he really is. And I have
Yeah.
apologized, and it's okay.
But it's still fun to bring up every
It is
now
fun.
and
is.
then. Yep.
No.
But I can see now
Give it back. I
why
really like that.
Josh had to bring you guys in as the older, more responsible business partners to take care of the numbers and the marketing.
I'd give that title to Luke.
Yeah, and
Fair.
Joe's the flexible one.
He's really good with bees.
With bees or peas?
Bees.
Bees?
Like
Killing them.
I was going to say,
We had a big bees nest. They tried to
Or the letter.
mount up in the outdoor area. Joey didn't have that.
They're not coming back.
wasn't having any of it. Went out there with a flamethrower. Like Carol Stout and the fucking emus.
Yes. Carol Stout and the fucking emus. If you don't know, go back and listen.
Well, I think that was in last call.
Oh, sorry.
It
Pay
was.
us money so you can listen.
Got to be a patron for that one.
$1 a month, as little as $1 a
So
month.
this beer and it's probably the cucumber. It's like salad. It's very light. It drinks very easy. It's very crisp and refreshing. It's got a little bit of salad, but I don't know. I just feel like it's like a salady beer. That might sound bad. I don't mean it bad.
No, I completely get what you're saying.
I like cucumbers in beer. A lot.
See, I'm not a huge fan of cucumbers, but
I
I
love
think I'm coming around to
cucumbers.
cucumbers in beer. This is delicious.
It's a tough flavor to get out, I think.
See, I grew up. We make a cucumber mint kombucha, and that's what kind of
That
like
sounds
the
really
first
good.
place like that. I was like, wow, I really like this. And it was like sometimes it was like 11 in the morning, and I could drink that, and it was carbed and good, and kind of like I was drinking beer, but it was kombucha.
What's the ABV on this one? 6.5? I'm reading upside down.
Yes.
Wow.
Josh, you need to make it half that.
I know. I would not have thought. I mean, that's not super
We have a
high,
problem
but
with that.
Shayla,
Yeah.
we're gonna get you drunk,
Does
and
he
you're
just,
not
like-
even gonna know it.
does he just like dump vodka like in the bright tanks at the end
Oh
of the
no,
process?
you're gonna get us in trouble.
No. Only certain breweries much further north do that.
Yeah, right. That tequila.
Yep.
Oh
Anyway.
man.
But no,
moving
I
on.
think at one point in time there was like 8 beers on tap that were above 7% or 8%.
It was.
Yeah, so we've
Wow.
toned it back a little bit.
Yeah. Just sort of step back a little bit.
I think a lot of people like, I don't know, when I go for like an IPA to a bar, I like between like 6 and 7. So
It's kind of we just one thing we've always done is like we love people's feedback, but like a certain portion of it is always like us trying to be us and not trying to be
Oh, yeah.
everyone else.
Well, you got to, and we talked about this a million times. Every places we've gone is that you got to balance what you want to do and what people want. Because if you only do what you want to do, nobody's going to come in.
Right.
If you only do what people want, then you're not going to be genuine.
It's like
You're
like
not gonna
Lunar
be passionate.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
That was like a crowd pleaser, and we just sell it like crazy. But like, you know what I mean? That was like a recipe that we just designed out of like knowing like what a lot of people wanted that was different than styles that we like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite beer I've ever had here. The
Which
Disco
one?
Lemonade.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's a U beer. It's a Steph
What
beer.
does that mean?
It's a Steph beer.
It's just
I don't
giving-
think you can define that. I drink. There are some beers that I really, really don't like, but I like a very, very large variety of.
I was just going to say
styles.
because it tastes like salad. It's like vegan.
No, I am obsessed with pickles, and I've been
Exactly.
trying to get people to make pickle
Pickles,
beers
you know what?
for so long, and no one would make one, and it's kind of like a pickle beer.
It's
I
like-
want a sprig of dill in it.
It's
and
like
it would be
homemade
perfect.
pickles where the pickles still taste a little bit like a
Yeah.
cucumber.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
almost like underdone pickles.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like
Actually, this pit, if you're reading the description about this was actually made for the guy who makes our pickles because he always said he wanted a pickle beer.
Oh,
so we
nice.
didn't go full on pickle.
Right.
We just kind of used some.
It's a good
some
nod to
things
the
from
pickle.
Right.
A
Yep.
nod to the pickle.
That's why
But
I like
yeah.
it so much, because it's a beer I've been asking for so long, and everyone refused to make it. So
Pils-
thank you, Josh, for making it.
Yeah, Pilsudski mustards. They make they give us
Yeah.
all local mustards, and they all of our pickles are made by them too. So this one was for them.
Awesome. Shout out to the pickle people.
Shout out to the pickles.
All right, what's next?
Well, I guess the banana.
this is
roast
what-
crunch.
this is what Dan had earlier.
It was so good. It's delicious. Oh God, I love it so much. Doesn't really hurt that Cinnamon Toast Crunch was one of my favorite cereals growing up. Still is. Fuck it. I'm in my 30s. It's still one of my favorite cereals. I don't care.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a Dunkel's Weiss beer, and it has the cinnamon toast crunch in it, and then also has a bunch of bananas in it. Again,
So, like,
all real bananas.
Fresh bananas.
Oh my God.
That
yeah, and
seems
that's
like
tough
wrong.
because traditionally, like, banana's an off flavor in beer. It's,
Well, not
like,
when you're a Dunkelweiss or a Weiss
Right,
beer. It would be
right,
a very
right.
pleasant and welcomed flavor
But
aroma.
yeah, so yeah, real bananas, and that's a tough flavor to get out.
When does he put the bananas in? Does he put them in the mash?
Right before the vodka.
Most of the time, we do
Tough
it during
thing.
fermentation.
I would say fermentation, yeah.
So a lot of the flavors are post.
The
okay.
places where it's not in fermentation are usually like, hard candies and stuff like that. We have to just because it's the only way to like liquefy them down. But some
like the Jolly Rancher.
I think the last time he made like our breakfast bowl granola, which usually put in on the hot side, he
Yeah.
actually just did it both times. They put it in the hot side and put it on during fermentation. So again, there's experimentation there where just sometimes it's like this is the way to do it, but he's like, I'm just gonna throw it in at a different time and see what happens.
I actually really get the banana in the aftertaste.
The banana comes in at the
Banana.
end. And I think,
I don't want to clean that fermenter though.
yeah, right.
CIP and just let it rip.
Well, I'm even thinking, even if he puts it in a bag, it's still that stuff's gonna ooze out and like.
That's what Joe's for. It climbs in there.
Oh no!
yeah,
it
that's
down.
what he
We
usually
actually
wears.
Marty, our assistant brewer, fits literally right in.
No, we've actually
that
put
why
him
you
in a
hired him?
fermenter.
Is that
Yeah,
part
this
of
isn't a
it?
joke.
That part of the interview. Climb in this fermenter. Do you fit?
Yeah.
You're hired.
He fits.
So you said there's a chocolate peanut butter one that you did or have done or will do again. You should put bananas in that.
Oh, that'd be good.
Chocolate peanut butter banana. No.
That's good. Yeah.
I would buy the shit out of that beer.
So I do really get the banana in the end. I will say I wouldn't necessarily recommend to anyone out there listening to follow up the beer we just had with this one because the first sip was weird
It's so
coming off the
different.
lemonade.
Yeah, they're like opposites.
Like it really took a minute to transition there.
Oh yeah.
But what's the deal with cereal and beer? But like, where did that come
I
from?
don't know
Like,
who did it first. 'cause
everybody's
everyone's
putting
doing it now.
cereal and beers. And my theory is it's like part of the whole like internet nostalgia thing, because people who are drinking a lot of craft beer now, or who have been for a while, are like around our age, early to mid 30s, and so we're nostalgic.
I am not in my mid-30s anymore.
Yes, you are.
Don't say that, because I'm going to be your age in like 2 months.
Yeah. I don't think I can say I'm in my mid-30s
You can.
anymore.
I still can, but for a
I'm
little bit.
Bergeron's age.
But I feel
Bergeron's
like-
number is my age now.
It's nostalgia for like the 80s and 90s, like cereals and candies and stuff that we grew up with.
I think a lot of people want to be like, what's the next
yeah.
awesome beer?
Like,
and
I want to remember the stuff I loved to eat when I was a
Right,
kid,
right.
but now get drunk while I'm tasting
yeah,
it.
and I think a lot of the flavors that the old school cereals had was something that you would seek out in a beer.
And we just have a tendency to throw a lot of things in beer, like
Yeah.
whether it be Oreos, Jolly Ranchers, cereal, we're a little bit all over the place.
Interesting.
But it's kind of the fun of it, the unknown, just like let's throw this in.
Yeah,
See
what's
what
going to
happens.
happen?
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question for you. Have you guys ever had to dump a batch? Did you ever
Yes.
throw shit in that just like?
I think only one, but it was an equipment failure. It wasn't
Oh,
us.
okay.
We had a glycol leak.
We've had ones where they came out and it wasn't how we wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess we did. Did we dump two?
yeah,
we dumped two.
But,
yeah.
but it wasn't like something that people wouldn't buy. So and then there'd be people that'd be like, "This is my favorite beer you ever made," but to us, we
Yeah.
were like extremely disappointed
Yeah.
in the way it turned out. Even this beer, I love, but doing it again, I'd even throw a little more cinnamon toast crunch in.
Right.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or maybe even some cinnamon just to
Yeah, that's what
accent
I was
it.
thinking. Or
Yeah.
some vanilla, some cinnamon. Yeah.
So there's just times where it's like we see improvement, just trying to be strive for the best thing that we can do. But we never really had anything that was like dump it out. Now home brewing to invent a lot of these recipes.
Yeah.
A lot of things were dumped out. So I think there's a lot more experimentation on the small side before we just jumped up to the big side.
Yeah.
I think
because
you
I
have
feel
to,
like
yeah.
it's risky to put all this crazy shit in beer when you're actually selling it, to turn a profit for a business. Because
Yeah.
you don't know how it's going to turn out. Now, the smaller you are, like we talked about earlier, and the smaller your system is, the less of a big deal is if it's a total, shitty beer that you do have to dump.
And we're a little bit of risk takers. I mean, we have
Yeah.
a fish tank next to a pool table.
This is true. I hadn't considered the proximity of those two things.
Oh, we considered that and still did it.
Terrible
wow.
idea, but
Yeah, no, I hadn't considered
it didn't get hit yet. Or it might have. Might have got hit once.
Here's the thing about that, though. It is dangerous, and it would be catastrophic if a pool ball went flying through the air and smashed into it, but it would also be pretty freaking cool to see.
Oh, yeah.
All the shrimp died today anyway. so.
Everyone's been taking pictures, posts.
Yeah, right?
What happened? Why did they die?
We don't know. We had them for like 5 or 6 days.
I think
and
those ghost shrimp, too, don't exactly have, like, the fullest of lives in the first place.
Yeah, they were like the ghost shrimp, the clear bodies you could see through. And we had like 28, and then like 2 died yesterday, and then they were all dead this
They
morning.
all.
But
Maybe they were in a cult and it was suicide.
Well, they were also,
Yeah, it was,
unfortunately,
Jim
guinea
Jones
pigs.
thing.
They were guinea pigs to see where the water profile was at.
Okay.
Yes, we have to change the water. We
You
definitely
couldn't just test the water?
We did.
Well, no, we did.
They were supposed to live in it.
Honestly, we don't handle the fish.
Is that Josh's job too?
No, just an employee who likes the fish. That's how we started making kombucha.
And also likes killing fish
Not fish, shrimp.
and shrimp.
yeah.
So we have one more
shrimp
beer.
heaven now.
We do have another beer on this flight. Which one's this one? Is this the one you had earlier, Wayne?
I think it might
Egret.
be. Yes.
The Egret?
Egret,
Yeah,
number
yeah.
5. So this one is one that we brewed before, and in my personal opinion, didn't turn out where we wanted it. And then we rebrewed this time, and this is where we wanted it. So you get like the caramel butterscotch notes out of it.
Butterscotch.
Oh, yeah.
That's
which
what
we
I'm
didn't
smelling.
get before. It was the same base recipe, but this time you get the caramel butterscotch taste. And
It's like legit sucking on one of those
yeah,
candies.
and this one's
It's
only
like
4.9, so this is one you can like camp on for a while, not have to go home early.
Cuddle with the
It's
dog
a
on the
Liquid
couch.
Werther's original.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an extra sweetness in the background.
So
that really
this is
complements
this
it.
is an Irish red.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
And you actually put butterscotch in it.
Yes.
Okay. And like butterscotch candies, what is the process for that?
Honestly, I don't know how Josh
don't
added
either.
the butterscotch.
He closed the curtain, he opened it back up, and there was this beer.
I think it's just like again, it's like talking about brewing styles that aren't necessarily ones we care about. Where like I've never been an Irish Red guy, so I just don't think I was ever inquisitive. Be like, hey, how'd you add the butterscotch?
Yeah.
Right.
Where like other ones, I love the recipe. I'm like, oh my god, how'd you do this? So I do know that he added it. I don't know if he. I'm not even saying anything because I could be wrong.
No idea.
Yeah,
Can you
right.
explain the name to me? I don't get the reference.
It's from Game of Thrones. Ygritte is the one redheaded character.
Oh.
See the you know nothing, Jon Snow. Isn't that her? You see the one who
I don't
said-
actually watch Game of Thrones. Somebody
whatever.
else does.
All right,
We
fair.
kind of.
Yeah, somebody does.
If we can't find a name, we just send it to every employee that works here, and we're like, "Hey, we made this beer. Shoot ideas, Zach."
Yeah.
So we're stumped.
Well, I
that's
think
cool.
I'm right. Since nobody at this table watches the damn show.
Yep.
I just know it's the redheaded character from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Irish Red is a style I really like. To be perfectly honest, I would actually like it a little less butterscotchy.
It did
like
come out pretty heavy.
But it's one of those flavors where, like, when I had the one earlier, it took like a quarter through the glass before I kind of got used to it, and I was like, okay, this is good. Whereas first it was like, whoa, butterscotch.
I had no idea there was butterscotch in it until I took a sip of it. I'm like, holy crap, is there butterscotch?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, it's an Irish Red.
I just got flipped off by a passerby.
Nice.
Do you know
In
him?
a nice way.
I do.
Say, do you know? No, he
That's
just said
nice.
fuck you.
That's nice. Should we?
Yeah, we have some beers in our system. I feel like Wayne, we should probably play a game.
Put
What
it
do
away.
you say? What do you say? You knew this was coming. You could have just.
I did. And when we started drinking this beer, I was going to pull it up, and then I totally forgot. So, but I'm ready now. Cheers, Internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, a podcast trivia segment that's got a funky beat and you can dance to it. Today, we are playing the tried and true, the pillar, the tent pole of Happy Fun Time Games that is libation or fabrication. If you don't know, you've probably never listened to this podcast before, but I will explain it to you anyway. This is a game in which I will tell you the name of a beer, and you must guess whether that name is real or fake. We will alternate who goes first. Everybody gets to answer. We'll add up the points at the end. The winner gets to brag. The loser gets punished in last call. In order to hear and probably see that punishment, you must be a patron on Patreon. So if you are not currently, maybe check it out. But
You
we
know
will
where to
begin.
go.
You know where to go. Patreon.com/beerbusters. We will begin to my left, not with Dan, but with
Hey.
Joe. Tell me, is this a real beer or is it fake? This beer is called I Love the 90s
Strikes Back.
Bach. Real or fake?
Well, the fact that she chimed in, I'm thinking
No, it's a great
real.
show. No, it was a TV show on
Don't-
VH1.
Don't clue him in one way or the other.
I'm going real.
All right, Joe is going real. Lucan, what do you think?
It's so long. I'm gonna go fake.
Have you ever been to Tired Hands?
I was going to say that's what she said, but your response was better. Dan.
Real.
Dan saying real. And finally,
I hope it's real. That's an awesome name.
finally, Steph,
It's
this
probably
one
fake, though, 'cause I
is
suck at this.
for you, and it's fake.
Ah,
Lucan was the only one who was correct. That one was just for you. Happy birthday, Steph.
Thanks for that.
Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Lucan's going to guess first on this one. This beer is called Weapon of Mash Destruction.
Real.
I love the puns.
Saying that is real.
I love puns.
Dan.
I'll say real as well.
Dan also saying real. Steph.
Real.
Steph saying real, and finally Jeff.
Fake.
Oh, Joe bucking the trend, going fake does not pay off because it is in fact real. It is an 11% ABV Imperial Stout for Main and Six Brewing Company in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wait, what's the brewery called?
Main and Six.
Main and Six.
Yes, in Florida, because of course WMD has a full-bodied mouthfeel and notes of chocolate, roastiness, and a rich sweetness that help hide the alcohol content. It also comes in vanilla and chocolate cake varieties.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about strawberry cake?
Not yet, but maybe soon. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and I swear I did not plan this, but it is super appropriate. Dan is going to guess first.
Oh, no.
And this beer is called He Ain't Hefe.
It's called what?
He Ain't Hefe.
He ain't Hefe?
He Ain't Hefe.
He ain't Hefe.
You don't get the reference.
No.
Never mind. Is it real or fake? Like Hefe, you know Hefe?
Like boss?
Hefe Wazen.
Like yeah.
Hefe, like with a J, like boss?
Like Hunchback Hefe.
I assume it's a Hefeweizen
I'm
if it
missing
was real.
something here, but let's go fake.
Dan is going fake, Steph.
I'm going to say real.
Steph is saying real, Joe.
Fake.
Saying
He says
fake.
with little confidence.
Very, very reluctantly.
He's like, I liked this game 30 seconds ago.
What's the punishment?
Oh, would you like to know, Lucan?
Real.
Saying that is real. Steph and Lucan are correct.
Oh, no.
It is real. It's a 5.1% ABV Hefeweizen from Straight to Ale in Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama. Who say of the beer, sometimes hours of deep thought go into a beer name. Sometimes a drunken pun is responsible. This is a riff on the 1969 hit by the Hollies, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks.
I get it.
Usually that's my response.
This traditional German unfiltered wheat beer has a nose of banana and clove, as it should. Sweet, citrusy, and refreshing. Moving on to our fourth beer of the game, and Steph is going to guess first on this one. And this beer is called Tickle Your Tapeworm.
Seriously? So my strategy is always to say real, but there's no way that can be your beer name. That's just wrong. I'm going to say fake.
All right, Steph is saying fake in a rare showing of a fake answer. Joe?
I'm also going to go fake.
Also-
That sounds ridiculous.
Doesn't necessarily correlate, though.
Why? Who would buy that?
I'm going real. I don't know why. I just some feeling.
Lucan thinks somebody would buy
It's
it.
tapeworms.
You know, they used to, like, to get tapeworms out of you, they used to coax them, like, out of your throat or the other end with, like, food, and then, like, wrap them around, like, a wooden rod, and then, like, twirl it and, like,
Sounds like
curl
spaghetti.
it up. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Wayne, and I know the most random shit.
Dan, real or fake?
I'm going to say, oh, God, I'm torn.
Perfect sky on torn.
It's just so crazy. It just makes
I
you want
know.
to scream fake, but that's what I couldn't.
Yeah, that's where it is. And I think you wanted Steph to break from saying real.
It's a conspiracy.
You are, like, seriously putting way too... I did it, like, last night after work. I put this together, man. Like, there wasn't that much thought put together in it.
Fake.
It is fake. Everybody but Lucan is correct on that one.
Joe, you got a point.
You got a
Yeah,
point.
finally.
Honestly, just a random phrase that inexplicably popped into my head entirely unprompted by anything. I don't know why. But there it is. All right, so at this point in the game, I have one more beer, but I just want to go over the scores real quick so we know what's on the line. Sitting with 1 point. Only 1 point. You haven't lost yet, but you are very close to doing so and being punished in last call is Joe.
I'm very aware.
Dan is right there on the edge as well, which is unusual because Dan has had a hell of a streak in Happy Fun Time for a while. Dan's only got 2 points. Lucan and Steph are tied at the top
We're good.
with 3 points. So you
now
guys
that
are
there's these punishments, I'm taking this shit more seriously.
you guys are safe. You guys are safe. So our last beer of the game. And I'm going to say, I'm actually going to have Lucan go first because you're one of the two with the most points. This beer is called The Dude Imbibes. Is that real or fake?
What was that last word? Can you spell that and use it in a
Imbibes.
sentence?
Imbibes. IMBIBES.
I
as
actually
in
get that reference.
All right,
I am
so real.
imbibing alcohol. Saying real.
I will say real as well.
Dan also saying real. Steph.
Real.
Steph saying real. And finally, Joe.
I'm going to stick with the group.
You're going to stick with the group. I was going to say the only way you can save yourself right now is to be fake and be right. To say fake and be right.
You're right.
But it is in fact real. And everybody got that one correct. The Dude
Yay!
Imbibes is real. A 9.5% ABV rum barrel aged milk stout from Triple C Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina. For their release party in 2016, the brewery kicked off with a Big Lebowski themed yoga class, a Big Lebowski costume contest, and
Edge would win.
a bracket style Dude Wii bowling tournament. Sounds like a good time.
I've
the
been to that
Dude
brewery.
Imbibes. Have you?
Yep.
Cool.
We were there when we were in Charlotte last
I was going to say you weren't there for that event, though, were you?
Nope.
That would have been cool. So we're going to add up the points real quick here and
I
see
didn't lose.
who our
I
big
didn't lose.
winners are. We have a Finnish flag fiesta tied for first place with
Well,
2
thank God that wasn't beer.
points apiece. Are Lucan and Steph
Yay!
coming in second place. Just behind with 3 points is He Ain't Heavy. He's my brother, Dan, sitting at the bottom and awaiting punishment.
Oh, no.
Aw.
Later this evening
I'm upset.
is Joe.
He's got this. He's got this.
Yeah.
Lava.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It won't be that bad. This one's sort of a last-minute improvisation. You'll be fine. This is, of course, the part of the podcast where we shout out.
Should we say what the punishment is? We did that last episode.
Oh, did we?
Please let me know.
Yeah,
that what we're doing?
last episode we
We
said
did
it during
say
the...
it.
Yeah, because
We
had
actually said it during the intro to the game last
Yeah.
episode.
Oh, we did. We don't have a formula for this yet.
Yeah,
This is only the
it's
second
new.
time we've
It's
done it. Okay, so we didn't have anything super interesting, so what we're going to do is we're just going to combine all the beers we're drinking tonight in one glass and make you drink that.
That's fine with me.
Okay, you can do that? All right, you can handle that.
I can handle
That's
Is
that.
not
that
too
why
bad.
you're saving a little bit of each?
Yeah, that's why I didn't finish any of them
Oh,
yet.
I get it.
So that's the punishment. We're going to do that last call. Well, we might all try a sip. You're going to have to take at least a gulp.
Fuck no! If I actually don't lose, I am
No.
not doing this.
You
shit.
don't have to do it. Dan and I have
lose all
morbid
the
curiosity. Dan and I are probably going to do every punishment just for the fuck of it.
because you're dumb.
But yeah, so if you want to hear and see
Lucan and I
that,
will film it.
there you go.
morbid curiosity.
If you-
That's a good way to describe it.
If you want to hear and see that, sign up to become a patron at patreon.com/beerbusters. Like the following individuals, our most generous patrons, who we will now thank from the very bottom of our hearts, beginning, of course, with James Lamberg, Joe Mansell,
Can I have the camera? I want to take a picture of these cans.
Mark Modugno, Topher Simmons,
drugs.
Poor Man's Brewing Company, Kathy Obashevsky,
I'm 3 for 3. You're getting good at her name.
Eric Dixon.
You guys want a bonus beer?
It's because she corrected me.
Yeah.
Nate Falkman,
It's got a hair done.
Brian Mills, Wolfgang Von Colt,
This sausage is DTF.
Jen McDonald, Marilyn Engelman,
Sports.
Josh Price,
Salty pretzels.
Ron McDonald,
I like cans.
and Victoria Miles.
He wants to get super drunk so he can tackle the dump.
And there's at least 6 of them here tonight.
Many of them are here this evening. If you want to find out how you can get on this esteemed list, come out to our recordings, come to our secret basement recordings that the public is not invited to. Get to listen to Last Call, get to watch the Happy Fun Time Punishments, and all sorts of other cool behind-the-scenes perks. Go to patreon.com/beerbusters. Dan, what do we do now?
We got to pay.
Let's pay our tab.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
This episode is brought to you by Brooklyn Brew Shop. They've been empowering the kitchen curious since 2009 with beer-making kits that are compact, attractive, and easy to use, keeping the most space-strapped brewers in mind. You get to use the same ingredients at home as world-class craft breweries. There's no extract, no sugar powders, just grain, hops, yeast, and depending on your beer, other fun and exotic spices. Each kit comes with everything you need to make professional quality beer in your very own home. And you can even do hard cider, wine, and sparkling wine kits as well. And for Beer Busters listeners, if you visit bit.ly/BeerBustersBrooklyn, you're going to get free and fast shipping on orders over $59. That's bit.ly/BeerBustersBrooklyn.
Your beers. No. Know your beers.
Steph,
Que pasa?
are we continuing the series?
Yeah. I like talking about
There are now
hops.
more parts to this than there are Back to the Future.
I'm okay with that.
This is true. This is becoming quite the franchise.
I'm okay with that. It's like my libation or fabrication.
Are you going to call the last one Endgame?
No, that's
you already
stupid.
kind of said you were.
Wait, is that the new Avengers thing?
It is the new Avengers
Did I tell you that
movie.
I'm literally the best wife ever because I bought Rich tickets to see that movie the day the tickets went on sale?
When are you going?
We're not going till Sunday. I know you're going before we are.
I'm going on Thursday.
I haven't seen any of them. No, I
I'm
saw the
going to
first
Meeting
one.
of the Malts on Thursday.
Spill my beer.
That's cool. I'll drink it home.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One of us has to go out and do work.
Yeah, right. Anyway, what are we for the fine people out there? What are we
it's
talking
Know
about?
Your Hops, part Quattro.
This is where the franchise starts to dip,
Fear.
but it'll come back in part 6.
Shut the hell up. So we're going to talk about 3 American hops that all start with C, but they're not the ones you're thinking of.
Ooh.
First, Cashmere.
I take
Cashmere
that-
is a versatile, dual-purpose hop that brings complex aromas of citrus and tropical fruit to the front. It originated, of course, in the U.S. It was developed by Washington State University by crossing Cascade and Northern Brewer, and it was first released in 2013. It shines when it's used for aroma and flavor in more hop-forward styles, or where the intensity of its exotic tropical notes will complement sour, fruited, or funky ales. Its respectable alpha content combined with low cohumulin lets it contribute smooth bitterness if used early in the boil. Complex and intensely fruity with strong overtones of lemon, lime, peach, and melon. Secondary notes of coconut, lemongrass, candy, and herbs can show through in whirlpool or dry hop additions. Alpha levels 7.7 and 9.1. Beta 3.3 to 7.1. I feel like this is a hop that Josh would really like.
Sorry, Cashmere.
Hop number 2, Challenger. A true all-rounder and team player for producing classic English ales. Originated in the U.S., it's a daughter of Northern Brewer and North Down stock. The English variety was found a home in the hop yards of the Pacific Northwest. It's truly versatile, dual-purpose hop. Its alpha content can be harnessed for bitterness. It possesses a smooth, pleasant flavor for early or late kettle additions and dry hopping. Alone or in a blend, it's an excellent option for the hop bill of any British, Irish, or Scottish styles. American-grown Challenger tends to be more spicy, cedar-like, and less orange marmalade than the English Challenger. Alpha 6.5 to 8.5, beta 3 to 4. And finally, Chinook. High alpha, big flavor. Originated in Washington. I'm getting hugs from patrons. I love it.
I didn't know who that was at first. I was like, whoa.
I know. I had to turn around. Who's giving me a hug? It was developed by the USDA breeding program and released in 1985 as a high alpha variety. It eventually took traction among craft brewers as a unique aroma and flavor hop. Its ancestor is Petham Golding and USDA 63012. I love hops that have numbers for names. It has a dual-purpose usage, high alpha content and moderate cohumulin. It delivers potent, smooth bitterness, but also contributes specific pine notes desirable as an IPA dry hop. Strong notes of grapefruit, pungent, suggestions of mountain pine and resin, with citrus and fragrant dried herb in the background. Alpha 11 to 14%, beta 3 to 4. Now you know.
Get to the chopper.
Thanks.
That was exciting.
Fuck you.
You know what's more exciting?
Beer.
Beer.
More
beer.
Can I get this over with? I'm very upset about it.
Oh, we still have more beers we got to put in there.
No. It's not done. That's only 5 of them.
So this gets worse.
The next 5 are going in as well.
To be fair, like Wayne said, we're probably going to stand with you in solidarity. At least the two of us.
I'll try a little bit.
I don't know.
I'll crush it.
Good thing I wasn't in charge of the punishments.
Very true.
He'd be like, I'm pushing you through that window.
There's another bee's nest.
He did not get stung once.
That's impressive.
That is.
It was a big nest too. It was bowling ball size.
Wow.
Well, maybe a little bit smaller. I exaggerated a bit, but
It's like, I caught a fish this big.
there was at least a bunch of bees in there.
There was at least a bunch. I feel like any more than like 3 or 4 is like alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
Ooh, hey, through the magic of the internet, there's more beer here.
Then there's more in this flight than there was in the last
I
one.
know.
Which is nice.
It's getting bigger
Because,
and bigger
as we mentioned
and bigger.
earlier, one of the beers was close to kicking, so we could get lunar eclipse, and hey, that happened.
So that was an hour ago, and Dan was back there chugging the keg, so thanks, Dan.
Yeah, he just had his head under the tap.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
now-
that definitely was your last banana roast crunch.
Yeah.
Like ever?
He took one for the team.
Okay.
Like ever. So
as Dan sheds a tear.
As I look across this flight, I see a lovely gradient of colors, and let us not forget that there is a punishment forthcoming in Last Call. If you want to hear that, patreon.com/beerbusters. I'm curious if anyone has a guess what color this is going to turn into once we mix all the beers together.
Ooh, I'm thinking
brown.
like real ugly multi
Like diarrhea or...
This, but ugly.
What is...
You gotta make it poopy. I
Yeah,
have
or,
to drink that.
Why
There's
do you
a
have
name
to make it poopy?
I was going to make it poopier. What is it called? Meconium or something like that.
That's baby
the,
shit.
The first shit a baby ever takes.
Oh,
yeah,
that.
that's like sticky, rancid paste.
It doesn't smell near as much though as like the regular stuff. So
yeah, but it's an ugly color, right?
Oh yeah, it's not. It doesn't. It looks like weird tar.
Unappetizing. Anyway, let's enjoy these beers now.
What's up next? Now that we talked about poop.
So what are we doing first?
What's this, number 6? Carl. Good to see you.
This one?
Yep. No. Nope, that's Lunar.
Okay, I thought that was Lunar. Okay,
Yeah,
we're going to start with this one?
that.
Okay. Carl.
I guess we were
This
going...
is an IPL. So
Ooh.
I approve.
it is brewed with a lager yeast.
And a lot of hops.
Yeah, so it'd be like a traditional IPA recipe, what we would do, but then we fermented it with a lager yeast.
And at lager temperatures.
Right. Very lemony, lemon zest in the aroma.
Yeah, does your menu say what hops?
Yes. So that one's going to have Magna, Motica, Centennial, and Apollo in it.
It's quite oh, sorry.
Dan is still waiting to try the beer.
Sorry.
That one's 6.1%. And
I
actually,
like this.
we did not throw anything crazy in that one.
Well, you know what? And no offense, but I like that.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't need it.
Yeah,
The
I'm
hops
old
make
curmudgeon.
it.
I like all these cool, like crazy ingredients and experiments in beers, but like after the first round, like I want just like a nice hoppy lager. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Steph, I'll let you finish
It's really good.
I would say that's like one of the beers that a lot of people ask for too. Like, do you have any lagers or like
light beers?
Yeah, light.
yeah.
So that's something that appeals to.
But it still has that
craft beer crowd.
It still has that nice
Hey,
hop character.
I'm a very craft beer person, and I will always order the lager first.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
Lagers rule.
Is this the only lager you guys do? Yeah,
Was this the
to
first?
to date so
Yeah.
far,
That's
right?
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
we couldn't originally just due to restrictions of equipment,
Yeah.
and finally, through upgrades, we have a little bit. The issue is just the temperatures, the fermentation temperatures holding it.
Well, and the time too.
Yeah, it takes a while for lagers.
Yeah. I really like this. This is really nice. But yeah, you're right. It does appeal to that kind of that person that comes in and doesn't drink craft beer. Like, I want something that's a lager, which in Pennsylvania means Yingling, and but it has that hop character. But it's the type. It's like that tropical citrusy hops that I think have a little broader appeal, where it's not like super dank like cigars and cat piss.
And I think honestly, one of the biggest things that people ask, because again, we're in people's neighborhood, so like you get people that come here just because it's convenient. There's just people that come in here and just get takeout food. You know what I mean? But that don't even care for beer or they drink wine. But people ask a lot, what do you have that's light?
Yeah.
Not into the craft beer scene or anything like that, but they like the atmosphere. They like hanging out, whatever. And they're just like, what do you have that's light? So that's where these really shine.
Yeah, and a lot of people hear the word hops and they're like, no,
Yeah,
I don't want
true.
that beer. And we try to, I think our brew outside the lines motto we try to appeal to those people that don't necessarily like the full craft beer experience.
Well, this is, I think, a very good compromise because it's a very clean and well done lager, but you've definitely put your spin on it with the I think the combination of hops that gives it such a unique flavor. So I think it's a fair balance to fit both. I really like
Thank
it.
you.
Let's go on to number 7.
Yes. What is number 7?
Number 7 is Captain Insano, Waterboy reference. So that one's 6.0%, 0 on the IBUs, but that's a sour IPA. Honestly, I get a lot of grapefruit notes out of it.
It's jowly.
That's a pretty
That
popular
one,
sour.
The cool thing about that sour, no fruit whatsoever.
Ooh.
It's 100% just hops
Ooh.
and sour.
That's a stealthy jowl too.
Yeah.
You don't get it right
reminds
away.
me of the when Cascade, was it Cascade that started doing those sour IPA, the sour hoppy beers?
Oh, I
in
remember
the
those.
bottles?
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of that style.
This
stout.
is not a gateway beer. Like, this is a beer you
it's
have
like
to.
Sour Patch Kids.
You have to like sours.
You have to like be into it, to get it. This is the kind of thing. Like, if this is the first sour beer you've ever had, you probably never would have one again. But that's not a bad thing.
Right.
No, yeah, because we do honestly have the crowd that comes in that they're searching just for sours. We honestly have a pretty decent sour following of people that just want to come in for sours.
These are all great sours, but none of them are our best flagship sours.
Right.
Yeah. But I do like that. The sour IPA Captain Insano, that's what I was drinking on my first cup during the first half.
Oh, nice.
There is something else there that I cannot put my finger on. And it's driving me nuts.
Tastes like Sour Patch Kids to me.
Cherry.
Maybe. That's kind of out of left field, but I could see it.
I don't know why. I always just had a grapefruit.
Yeah,
sensation.
definitely. I think it's because it's the citrus and sour, which is
It's a lot of Citra and
Yeah,
mosaics.
and a grapefruit will give you that.
that puckery. Yeah, but it's not like I said. It's sort of sneaky. Like when you first drink it, you don't get that like pinch.
Right.
You know,
it's
in
there
the gel,
towards the end.
and then like it kind of creeps up afterwards.
I'm gonna think of it like tomorrow. The other thing that I get out of this, it's
Just
good.
insert it when you're editing it. Just
should.
insert
punch it
right
in.
here.
And we tried to give it a name that like kind of matched the Captain Insano. Just to let you know, like it's not going to be the soft side of sours.
Right.
Yeah.
The soft side,
The soft
of,
side
sours.
of sours.
I love all the alliterations in this episode.
Full sour. We're sending it.
I also like it's got a fruity, but also like kind of like funky aroma. It's
It
a
does
little-
have Citra and Simcoe, so Citra's going to
It's
give you that. Like,
the Simcoe, I
Your
think,
favorite,
too. Yeah,
Simcoe.
yeah. I was gonna say a little sweaty sock, a little.
Maybe that's
yeah.
what it was. The Simcoe.
Should we do this one next before we get dark?
Which one's that?
Just thinking of tasting.
We can definitely do it that way.
Oh, is that the handle one?
all right, so that'd be Banana Roast Crunch.
It's Lunar Eclipse. Banana Roast Crunch was drinking.
Yeah, we already had that.
Everyone,
It's been drunk.
Dan drank it all.
I did.
Drank
Yes.
it all. Yes, essentially.
It was all me.
This is
correct
going to
now?
add a nice little kick to that.
But yeah, the Lunar Eclipse, like I said, that's
we should
more
be
like
filming every time you've done.
I'm not mad until the dark beers go in.
the Lunar Eclipse is more on the safe side of things. It's very oaty in my opinion. Like I said, that's got the orange peel, coriander, wheat beer. But again, that's a really popular safe beer. If you're not into anything wild or overly hoppy.
Yeah, that's what I would say the majority of people that come in that don't want an IPA usually order.
And that's 4.6%.
I get a hint of pineapple too,
Yeah, a little bit.
but it's very nice. That is a very, very drinkable beer.
And you said it was 4.6. Is this the lowest on the menu?
Probably.
Yeah. I would have guessed. Yeah.
This is great.
Very drinkable.
They're fighting.
Oh, the snail fights. We should dump some of that beer in there.
You should take bets. Have like
You should Facebook
we
Live
just
this.
recently got these snails, and from what I've noticed, they come together, they fight for like a minute, and then they go to the total opposite sides of the cage.
So they're married.
and then they come back and fight again.
They're boxing.
Yeah.
Round one, ding.
And now now he's leaving. I don't know. It's snail fights. It's weird. Never seen it before, but I like it.
I really like this
I'm
beer.
excited for the dark beers because I want to see Joe's face when you dump him in that cup.
Yeah.
Very upset. All
All
right, what do we got
right,
next? Demo Gorgon.
Nice. I get that one.
I do too.
I don't.
And I watched that show.
So this is a
Porter.
Yeah, it's a porter. Has some lactose in it, cocoa, and there's no hop. Oh yeah, we have Magnum and
There's no hop.
EKG hops.
It's not really beer. There's no hops in it.
Cocoa,
He's so
lactose.
focused as you're just pouring
Oat
the
milk.
Like, I
beer
can't
into
even.
the punishment cup.
I can't
Doesn't
even.
want to see
I
it.
really-
No, like I said, I'm not a big dark beer fan, so I don't really pay attention to the dark beers, which I should.
It's like
Ooh.
liquid brownies.
Ooh, it smells really
Yeah,
nice.
little
does.
5.8%er.
It's
Oh
definitely
my god.
definitely very popular beer.
Yeah.
I can see why.
I just love. I haven't tasted it yet, but I love the smell of this.
Ooh. It's got
Ooh.
nice roastiness at
That
the
is
end.
good.
Is there,
That is
do you
really
say that?
good.
Is there chocolate?
Cocoa,
I get like a dark chocolate in the back.
Cocoa nibs, lactose, and oat milk.
It's really fucking
It is
good.
really good. I don't know. That might be a very close favorite with the cucumber beer for me. I'm gonna say it.
I would not have expected you to say that.
I love porters, and that's a really good one.
And what a thing I like about it is that it's not. And again, no offense. It's not like a pastry porter. It's not like we put birthday cake and chocolate and vanilla and cinnamon and peanut butter and all that stuff into it, which is fun and everything. But it's very subdued. Like, it's not like super over the top sweet. Like, you still get the maltiness. You still get the roastiness. You get like the bitter chocolate without like super sweetness.
Yeah, it's well balanced, and it's so good, so good.
So, Joe, you're not a fan of dark beers?
I don't know why, but I'm not.
No?
We had a blonde, what was that the other day?
A blonde stout.
Blonde stout. So it poured like that, a blonde color.
Right.
It was called La Flama Blanca, but it was a stout, and that was like my gateway to.
Okay.
That was the first one that kind of opened me up to stouts. I'm trying. I really am.
Okay.
Had a lot of coffee beans in it too. That one was good.
Coffee's always good in beer.
Yeah, that is true.
Beer is great.
I
So,
approve of coffee.
are you more of a hophead? You into the IPAs and the hoppy stuff? Because I kind of feel like that's like the other side of it.
I'm definitely an IPA sour person, 100%.
So what do you think of this next beer then?
Oh, the next beer just is gonna blow your mind.
Oh, which one's the
But
next
what
one?
does Joe think of it?
What's the next one?
Because it's kind of
Shaka.
Oh no, I do enjoy. I
so
do.
that's as dark as you'll go.
Because Shaka is like.
Because it's essentially an IPA.
I just like the style of it. Yep. So
if you're talking about the next beer, Shaka is more of like a mind swear word.
You can say it.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules were. You know what I mean? But because, you look at it and you're just prepared for a dark beer, a porter, a stout, and there is literally none of that in it.
yeah, I definitely do enjoy this beer.
That is
I saw this on the board, and I was like, how does that work?
So basically, like every 3 or 4 Fridays, we do a seafood night where we have like raw oysters, Jonah crab claws, bacon wrapped scallops, and just like a fun little thing. And what we do is keep the oyster shells and throw them in to soften it. So, New Englanders are supposed to have that softer, mouthfeel. And the reason that people add oyster shells to stouts is to give it a softer mouthfeel. So we're like,
get the
why
calcium.
wouldn't that apply to an IPA?
Yeah.
So we threw the oyster shells in an IPA and made a New England oyster black IPA.
Yeah, that is a mind swear word.
Yeah, because even the aroma, just smelling the aroma just gives you so much hop character.
Yeah,
that
and
it just makes no sense.
You even warned us about it, and when I smelled it, I was like, "What is this? How is this happening?" It's got a pretty good mouthfeel to it. It's that was bad out of context. But yeah, like it's hoppy, but it's dark. I like this.
Yeah, and we have actually one called Chaka, which is a black IPA that's like awesome, but that one you get the stout flavor up front. You get roasty stout finishing with hops. For this one, it's just so hop forward that it's perplexing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good one that people like myself that don't like dark beers. It's a great transition into getting there.
Just to get your mind focused.
Yeah,
I
right.
can drink something that looks like this.
The first thing I thought when I tasted it was like a black IPA or a Cascadian Dark Ale. But that has a little more complexity to it. But yeah, it's one of those where like if you close your eyes and drank it, you would not think it was this color.
No.
Yeah.
And that one's still, casual 7-1.
Casual 7-1.
Casual 7-1. Jesus.
You guys crack me up.
So if 4.6 was the lowest on the menu, what's the second lowest?
4.9.
Joe's on it. He grabbed that
6,
menu with
5.
gusto.
I was going to say it's 6
Oh,
something.
no, 5.4.
Oh, you have a 5.
The Banana
okay.
Roast Crunch is 5.4.
Oh, that's only 5.4?
That's gone now, so.
It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
No, we got the Egret too. It's 4.9.
Oh, okay, fair.
So it's
Fair.
a 4.9, and then after that.
Then after that, it's just off the charts.
Yep. We actually, is a little employee thing, but we have our black IPA is called Chaka from Land of the Lost. It's a 9.5%, so we have the Chugga Chaka Challenge.
Terrible idea.
Chugga Chaka Challenge.
Chugga Chaka Challenge.
Chaka
I got it.
I love the alliterations.
So this is what we do, it's like an opening ceremony, maybe a closing ceremony, whatever. But you have to take a pint of Chaka, which is a 9.5% black IPA, and you have to dump a shot of bourbon into it, and then we all chug it and race.
And it's a 16 ounce.
Yeah,
so you're chugging a 16 ounce of 9.5 with a shot of bourbon.
I'll do it. I'm in.
Wow.
If we had it.
Wow.
I'm in. When you do it
Next time
again,
it's
I'm
on
in.
tap.
We could make a new one right
Dan
now.
will
Honestly,
appreciate this.
It's pretty gnarly and hard.
When it's all over, do you say Chaka when the walls fell?
No, everyone goes like
just
this.
think of a thick, dark beer too that you're trying to chug. You know what I
Yeah, that's
mean?
hard
With
enough.
bourbon in it. It's
Yeah,
messy.
it's
It's
not-
fun, and you are
good.
immediately buzzed.
Yeah,
It's messy, it's fun, and you're immediately buzzed.
Most
your
fun things
commercial.
are messy.
Anyway, we have one more beer.
Wow, we really powered. This is an extended tasting segment right
I
now.
hate how much I'm still laughing at Choco when the walls fell. Oh
I
my
knew you'd
God.
like it.
Jesus.
I knew you'd like it.
Well done.
So our last beer is Optimus Prime, which is one of our flagships.
Don't tell him the ABV. Don't tell him.
I will not. But this is more of a
Can we guess?
more
16.
of our West Coast style. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of hops in this.
Wow.
Definitely a caramely, grapefruit,
bit more malt than we
pine,
normally let
West
out.
Coast style. But yeah, go ahead and give it a guess.
I like how clear it is.
No.
See, he knows. He's like, I know.
I think he does know.
9.7.
That's very close.
9.5.
Or it's very far. What do I?
No, I didn't.
He gave it away already.
So
He said
that's our
9.5.
triple.
Or was that your guess? You weren't giving the answer. You were guessing too.
Same thing with M.2. You're right.
It's 9 something.
Yep.
I probably should not do that because
That's honestly one of our fan favorites, and it's
Oh,
more
it's
of like
good.
a West Coast hop forward.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I get more malty on that than I
Yeah.
do most of our IPAs.
Yeah.
And it does have like a piney, resinous,
Yeah,
West
I think that's
Coasty
I
thing.
think that's yeah.
That's nice. This again, it reminds me of like older school IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right, and that's I think. I don't know. A lot of people nowadays, you're searching for the New England hazy, whatever. But this
Well,
is still
some
like the
people are.
classic West Coast. That
Right.
a lot of people still like that hop forward, nice IPA.
Some of us aren't pussies.
Some of us are.
Wow.
We can take our bitterness.
That's right, man.
Yeah,
No,
I think what are you getting over probably 70 IBUs around? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that high.
60 IBUs.
That's high for now.
Yeah,
It is,
nowadays
actually.
it is.
Now.
Yeah.
Remember we did a whole episode where every beer was supposed to be over 100
Oh my!
IBUs?
That was.
Yeah.
But that was the thing
Didn't we have one
The
of those
fact, like, I
100?
liked-
5 years ago.
I like the episode and I like going through them, but like the fact that was the thing is like, oh my God, it's 120 IBUs. But no, it's not. Get the fuck out of here.
I do feel like sometimes you see and you're like maybe it's not. I don't.
No, it's just it's a
Well,
thing
there
that they
is-
want to say.
There is a point where it's really undetectable past a certain level, but
Yeah.
it's just funny how we've gone from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
We wanted our faces to be melted off from bitterness.
Yep, and now
to
Now we want our buttholes to be tickled with sweetness.
And milkshakes.
I mean, that's the opposite, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's good this is almost done.
We should call one the tickled butthole.
We still haven't done the whiskey flight, though.
Just pour a little bit in here
Should
already.
we save whiskey
do
for
that.
last
We'll
call?
So
do that
here's the
last
thing.
call.
You also, we talked about this before. You need to try an orange creamsicle.
Do you want me to get you one?
I forget.
They're honestly really good.
I think that night I was here, after I started drinking liquor, I drank more of those than I did beer that day. Because they are fucking incredible.
Okay, I'm in. I will drink.
okay.
I will do it.
It's kind of another thing is none of us were bartenders, so when we came up with our drink list, we did some classics, but we kind of just we're like, oh, we have all these craft sodas. What can we mix together? And that's kind of how the orange creamsicle came about.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah. I didn't.
I didn't.
So
Glowing
After this
orange.
game is over, I'm going to
Just
need
grab one.
10 orange creamsicles.
Yeah, right.
She's getting one.
So we mentioned it earlier at the top of the show because I love whiskey. And I think we talked about it a little bit while we weren't recording, but the whiskey that you guys have here is local, right?
Hidden Still. Yep,
Hidden
out of
Still.
Lebanon.
I almost said Hidden River. I was like, that's not right.
Hidden something.
Also
Hidden-
good.
Also
very good.
Absolutely.
We love those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Doug and Kevin are awesome.
We should get back there.
We should.
We should. Hidden Still though. Are they
I'll come
in
to
the
that
Reading
trip.
area? Are they in Reading or are they?
No, they're actually out of Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
all right.
close by.
Seriously,
They're just straight up 422 the whole way.
whichever whiskey I had from them, because there's multiples that you have on, hence
Right.
the flight. It was incredible. It was fucking great. I couldn't believe how good it was.
The cool thing is they do it all the right way.
Yeah.
They do straight bourbon that's true straight bourbons. They're aging it over 2 years. With a lot of you're a startup little distillery, it's hard to wait 2 years for your product.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
where they have bourbon that is aged 2 years in brand new wooden barrels every single time, giving you a true bourbon flavor. So they have, we just on tap here, we have 2 different bourbons, 3 different whiskeys. Plus they have gin, aged gin, vodka, spiced rum, white rum, and they're actually about to unleash tequila. So great products, and the owner David, awesome
Phenomenal.
guy,
Great guy.
the head distiller Cody, they're just good people.
Nice.
Great food,
That's good.
atmosphere.
How did that partnership come about?
Honestly, some guy came here to like try and sell
dude.
us Jack Quinn's mixers or something. No, wait. Or maybe, I don't know. Somebody knew the owner of Hidden Still and was like, send him here to give us a sampling. Maybe it wasn't Jack Quinn's because they were trying to sell his liquor. But either way, they sent him here and he just gave us a sampling. And from there, we just kind of like bought their liquor. And since they're the only liquor that we sell a ton. I think he told us one time that we are probably the number 2 seller of all of his liquor, besides like the state stores.
Right.
Yeah.
But most places like they have a full liquor license. They have your Glenlivet Scotch and your Captain Morgan. Where we, since we're a PA brewery, can only sell PA liquors, and they're the only distillery we use, so we sell a lot of their stuff.
What was cool though too is every single time that like we ordered from him or he came himself. So
that's nice.
Yeah, and he was the owner. You know what I mean? He has other stuff to do, and he always came here, introduced himself, was super nice to us. Like, and that relationship right there was awesome. So
yeah, they're really good.
He sold himself. He was awesome.
Good. Steph?
This is fucking amazing.
Uh-huh.
It legit tastes like an orange creamsicle.
It really does.
Yeah.
I could drink like 17 of these.
I think I did.
Yeah, they have really good vodka. That's what makes that. But then, like I said, it's actually Reading soda locally. They make craft
it is
soda.
Reading
It
Craft.
is.
Oh.
So it's their soda mixed with orange juice and vodka. So it's really pretty simple, but super good.
That's a single too. I didn't want to get you.
Thank you. It's so good.
But they make it. It just fits into the craft theme.
It does, yeah.
You using local soda, local distillery, local winery. So it's good. And honestly, we've all had a passion for bourbons and scotches and even wines. Actually, Josh, our brewer, started making wine. That's
cool.
really,
Wow.
where he really, and then, moved into the beer.
What, am I not going to have a sip of her creamsicle?
It's pretty good. I tried some too. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, that's dangerous.
We started doing Moscow Mules recently, and I think just because we have a copper cup, people just see the copper cup, and then like, because I swear, we always had them, and then we got the copper cup, and then all of a sudden, just everyone wants one. Everyone wants a copper cup.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone wants to find Schaylor online, where do they go?
SchaylorBrewingCompany.com.
Easy enough.
Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah,
Facebook.
if you go, it would be at Schaylor Brewing Co. for the Instagram and for the Facebook. We are actually not tweeting. We're not big tweeters. So if one of you guys want to be our tweeter specialists...
No, I don't understand
Just try to spawn it off.
why all of a sudden breweries are against being on Twitter.
I just don't. I never had one personally. None of us did, so I think that's why we
they're
strayed
like
away.
700 years younger than
We're
us.
so cool. They're not. They're like Dan's age. They're not that young.
We're not against it. It's just that we've never used it.
So we don't understand how it works.
Yeah, I don't think any of us personally had
It's
Twitter.
like
so.
Instagram without pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, see,
pretty
that's
much.
what I thought, though. Instagram, I was like, great, it's Facebook, but it's just pictures. I got rid of all the other stuff.
Instagram, you don't have to read anything.
Yeah, cut out all the fat. It's just, here's a picture, you like it or you don't.
Yeah. Just make an account so when I post this episode, I can tag it. That's all I want. I just want to tag it in the tweet for this episode.
I just want to tag you.
I just want to put
Twitter.
at Schaylor and it'd be like Schaylor Bruco. Oh, yay. There it is. You don't have to tweet anything ever. Hey, Dumpster Possum tweeted recently.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking this is somewhere I should start. I need to delegate.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool.
I missed the dumpster possum.
We'll look up Dumpster Possum in last call.
Yes. We definitely should.
Oh, fun trivia question. This was James's idea, and he couldn't figure it out. So any Beer Busters listener that can figure out which 2 episodes we recorded in the same day, I will mail you a T-shirt.
I remember one of them. I think I remember both.
It was the worst idea ever.
It was-
No, don't say it. It's a trivia question.
Well, this is not live. You can cut it out.
Oh.
Shit.
So if you know the answer, Steph at beerbusterspodcast.com. I'm
Or-
in charge of this contest.
805.
No, we don't get notifications for that stupid number.
I'm working on it.
Email me or tweet at me.
Yes, definitely do that. Oh God,
This was fun.
this was
you
a
guys
lot of
are
fun.
awesome.
Yes,
Oh,
you guys
you
are
guys
awesome.
are awesome.
Thank you.
You
for
know
having
what's
us out
not
here.
awesome is this beer.
I'm gonna come here every day for
Yeah.
an orange creamsicle.
That looks good.
To be clear, the beer that Joe was referring to is, of course, the punishment beer, which if you want in on his reaction,
Should we put a little orange creamsicle in it too?
I was thinking about that.
It definitely would help.
Probably.
Oh, then maybe I won't.
Patreon.com/beerbusters. You can sign
Why
up for
are you
it
filming
as
his
little
face right
as
now?
as
looking
little as
up
$1 a
dumpster
month.
pasta.
I'm
Of course he is.
legitimately upset.
Oh God, Logan's adding more.
I love it. I love it. It's running out of space. Ooh, you created a beautiful head there.
Can we? What do I have to do with
That's
this?
what she said.
You just gotta drink it.
We'll
That's all.
figure it out. We're
The whole
not there
thing?
yet.
No, not the whole thing. We're
Oh,
not.
come
We're not
on,
that
don't be
mean.
soft.
All right, I'll chug it right now.
Oh Jesus! No, not yet.
No,
we got to
not
get the
till
last
last
call
call.
first. All right, so
I don't want to chug it at all.
not only do you need to find Schaylor online, remember at Beerbusters, Twitter and Instagram. We do have a Twitter. Wayne went on his
And
rant.
I was on it a lot today.
That's good.
Yeah, you retweeted a lot of
I
things
did.
today.
I'm like, I haven't been on Twitter for a month. I need to quick retweet some shit.
Yeah.
On Facebook, we are Beerbusters Podcast. You can also go to beerbusterspodcast.com. The aforementioned patreon.com/beerbusters. As little as $1 a month gets you access to Last Call, where you can listen to it and possibly watch Joe's punishment.
Yeah. I just want to take a moment
Just a moment.
to speak to the listeners that are still with us at the end of the
Sorry.
episode.
Literally all we do is speak to the listeners.
No, I mean at the end of the episode. Because statistically speaking, not
I know.
everybody listens all the
I
way
know.
through. But if you have listened this far,
Thank you.
and you like us, you can become a patron. That's cool if you can afford it. But if not, rate and review the podcast on your podcast platform of choice. It will get us in front of more eyeballs. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. We honestly want to hear from you. Give us 1 star, 5 stars, 8 jingle bells, whatever you want. But yeah, rate and review. It's the least you can do, right?
And
Yeah, do it.
once you have rated us, be sure to go through and rate all the podcasts you listen to, because chances are we are not the only
single
one.
one.
Yes, that is podcast currency, and that's how all of us will grow our audiences. And be honest with yourself and with the podcast. That being said, unfortunately, this does bring us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. And seriously, guys, thank you so much for having us out here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you
Of
guys.
course.
Appreciate it. It's a ton of
This
fun.
was a long time in the works. I'm glad it finally happened.
We should come and record Josh while he's brewing. Interview him while he's
Yeah,
brewing.
that's a good
Play by
idea.
play. As he
As he. Yeah,
As
as he.
he.
This is going to be great.
That'd be the name of the episode. As he.
I'm just wondering,
Dot, dot, dot.
do you always get the pink microphone and you get the blue and you get the
Actually,
orange?
I usually
or
have
is
the
that-
orange,
Yeah.
and he usually has the
I
blue.
always get the pink.
Yeah, she
Okay.
always gets the pink one.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Well, hey, I'm Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist.
Steph Hefner.
And, of course, the demented and fermented.
Wade Baker.
No squids were harmed this time. Some snails might have been, but we'll see you next
And
time.
some shrimp.
And shrimp.
Oh, they're dead.
Harry the Dumpster
Brett.
Possum only has 7 followers.
And I'm one of them.
God damn.